From Tempe, Arizona, the NFL on Fox brings you an NFC East matchup where the opportunity is for the Arizona Cardinals to get over the hump. They can make it over the 500 mark with a victory today for the first time in 7 years. And if they do so, they'll keep pace with the Dallas Cowboys, who earlier defeated the New York Giants to move to 6-3. I'm joined by Bill Maas and Ronnie Lott. And Ronnie, the name of the game here in Phoenix has been Jake Plummer, but the name of the game for the team is defense.
Yeah, it's defense, and that's the thing that we like. Bill, especially myself, we love defense. But what you got to do is you got to get turnovers. Now, turnovers means wins. And what I think with this football team going into this game, they got to get at least 3. But the guy that's going to do that is Ronald McKinnon. Now, he's a linebacker that leads the league in interceptions with 5. But he has to get the job done. And you know something, Bill, when you think about this team, we talk about Jay Plummer, but really he needs more help than that.
Well, the defense was helping them out, too. They're helping them win games because Jake's struggling right now. Going through some growing pains, trying to learn this offense, this West Coast offense. Go back to college, 6 years, 6 different offensive coordinators. You expect the growing pains, but he could get a lot better off and have a lot better numbers if he could have some help from his offensive line and his running backs.
Well, Washington will like that as well, but Terry Allen is out of the lineup today with a knee injury, and that means they'll go with the rookie Skip Hicks, Ronnie.
Skip Hicks, 6 foot, 230 pounds, a small 230 pounds. Last week he had 65 yards. He's an excellent back. The one thing that he's got to worry about today is blitz, pickup, and he's also got to hold on to the football. But, Bill, when you think about the problems that they've had, the one problem that always comes to mind is Michael Westbrook. What do you think of that?
Well, it's been problems, and he's been butting heads with Norv Turner since he's been here in Washington. Now, Norv has him down again. He's not starting. Albert Connell gets the start. He will play today, but I don't understand how come you don't have your best opportunity for winning. You put your best players out there. Michael Westbrook right now is having a personal battle with Norv Turner. I respect Norv's decision for the discipline, but I think it's something that should have been handled 4 years ago.
Well, you heard it from Bill, and Norv Turner will try to get victory number 2 with his Redskins here in Phoenix. We'll be back with the kickoff.
Coach Jameer, ask us that again. Are we ready to play? Are you ready to play? Yeah. Baby, let's ask us again, Jameer. Are you ready to play? Yeah. Are you ready to play? Yeah. Are you ready to play? Yeah. Let's get it up, play. 1, 2, 3.
Well, we told you about Dallas's win. Look below that. Atlanta beating up on New England. Tremendous performance by them. They play the 49ers next week. New Orleans tough again. They lost to Minnesota, but battled them. They're in the fourth. They're in the fourth, 31-24. Vikings leading, and the Saints tough again this week, as they have been most weeks. Redskins are going to receive. Norv Turner trying to put 2 in a row after the victory over the Giants a week ago. 5th year as head coach, and Vince Tobin, head coach here in Arizona.
Well, he's got a death grip on that clipboard. There must be some top secret stuff in there.
It's playoff time, Bill. It's playoff time. Second half of the year, man.
Brian Mitchell, always dangerous. Look at that average, 20.4. And Joe Nedney, who won the game last week for Arizona with a 53-yard field goal, kicks it out. And it is Mitchell from the goal line. Mitchell breaks loose. Brian Mitchell. Touchdown, Washington. Opening play of the game. There's a flag at the 40-yard line after that 100-yard return. And the flag is signaled against the Redskins.
On the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Holding call. Jerry Markbright, our referee, makes the first call on the first play. Holding call at midfield. Mitchell broke 2 tackles there, but it's all going to go for naught, although they still have excellent field position. Mitchell seems surprised to have all that real estate in front of him. But it comes back marked at the 49-yard line.
And he didn't have to hold. He didn't have to hold him. He was already on the side of the field. He was already on the inside. He was on his way to score a touchdown.
So it becomes a 59-yard return.
Mark Smith.
And the first play of the game sees Mark Smith stepping up to stop the rookie, Skip Hicks.
Watch Mark Smith, number 93, right here. He just comes right through the right guard. That's Trey Johnson. He just flows through the A-gap between the center and the guard, and Mark Smith has been making plays. He filled in when Eric Swan went down with the injury, and last week up in Detroit had a huge game.
So it is second down and 13 for the Redskins. Play action. Green gets it away. Nice catch by Davis out of the backfield, but did he maintain possession? Stumbled right at the sideline. It'll be incomplete. Brent Green, 1-5 as a starter, but Norv Turner said yesterday he'll be his man the rest of the way. Badger, Johnson, Raymer, Rod Milstead back in for Joe Patton. Patton had been out of the lineup, came back and hurt his hamstring last week. Skips the starter. Stephen Davis got 5 last week out of the fullback position. Couldn't quite hold on to that one as he hit the ground. Out of the shotgun. Mitchell. Mitchell gets down to the 42-yard line to be close to the first down yardage in Arizona territory.
Yeah, that was a nice call right there. It was a nice call, and running a screen, Norv Turner right now is trying to protect the football. They had an excellent chance, Bill, to be able to put some points on the board, but the penalty, but on that situation right there, you want to protect the ball.
What they're doing, too, is they know they're getting a fierce rush from the defensive front of the Arizona Cardinals, so you get them upfield and then dump the ball behind them.
Mitchell wound up a yard short. Turk in for the punt. Metcalf awaiting it. Angling for the sideline. It's taken by Metcalf at 15. And that's where Arizona will have the ball for the first time on offense. Jake Plummer will lead on the Cardinals. The youngster out of Arizona State. Great career right on this field here at Sun Devil Stadium. Now in his 18th NFL start. Lomas Brown, Dishman, Graham, Lester Holmes, and Dexter. Dishman back into the lineup after being out 4 weeks with an injury. Adrian Morrell returns at the running back spot after missing last week because of a calf injury. Plummer passing at nearly 60%, but has not been the exciting star he was last year, mainly because he's adjusting to the realities of NFL offense. On first down, a flag is thrown. Morrell looked like he had close to first down footage there, depending on the spot. It is.
Well, they're going to have a holding call here, and I believe it's going to be on Aaron Graham, the center, on Big Daddy Wilkins.
Holding, number 54, offense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Watch it here. He's got Wilkerson right there. He reaches him. Now he's got his hands inside. Hey, that's a heck of a block.
Yeah, that is a heck of a block.
I didn't see any holding there. His hands were inside the framework, too. Normally, your hands get outside the shoulder pads. You get a holding pad. That looked like a good block to me.
Yeah, and you know what? Afterwards, after the play, Bill, they started giving each other high fives, so they felt like they made a good block on that play.
Instead, it comes back inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Good play. Running again. Room for Morrell once more, cutting it back nicely. Gets over the 15 to about the 16-yard line. Defensively for Washington, Kelvin Kinney with Doug Brown making his second consecutive start. Dana Stubblefield out with an injury for 4 or 6 weeks. Marv Patton, the leader on the defense at the middle linebacker spot, and the great veteran Darrell Green leads that secondary. Chris Dishman on the other side. Second down and 8 for the Cardinals. Short drop from Plummer, and the pass a little too high, intended for Rob Moore. Moore has been bothered with a hamstring that slowed him down earlier this season, and now feels he's at 100%, and Jake Plummer happy to have him able to go for the deep ball.
Well, when Jake came in our meeting yesterday and he sat down with us, the first thing he said, hey, I got Rob Moore back. And he said, I threw some passes to him last week. We connected, and then I just overthrew a couple. But you could tell there's a chemistry. He likes Rob Moore. He likes him on the field. He likes to go to him.
Moore with 29 catches on the season. Out the sideline for Moore, and just slightly missed time. And that'll bring up a punting situation for the Cardinals.
And maybe too much so. Because you saw Ronnie, he was looking for more on both those passes. and they were tied up pretty good. There's some pretty good coverage out there.
Yeah, and it's going to be a battle out there, and you're right, Bill. You can't just force feed somebody. You have to be patient. You can't allow yourself to get caught up in one guy.
Scott Player will hit it from the 5-yard line. Mitchell waiting for it for the Redskins. Takes it at the 39 of Washington. And he is dropped immediately. Flags again on this.
Ball's out.
Loose
Ball's
ball
out.
as well. And it is Cardinal ball with a flag down upfield. Upfield of the punt returner Mitchell. Mario Bates came up with a loose ball.
It looked like a block in the back.
Illegal block.
You're right, Ronnie.
Number 88. On the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So remain Cardinal ball when we return to Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona.
West Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Boy, the special team so far for the Washington Redskins has been killing them. Take a look, first of all, watch this as a punt. This is the last punt. You got a block in the back. Here's James Jenkins. Look, right in the back. That's illegal, and he's been around. He knows it's illegal. Then this, watch the rookie right here. Patrice Alexander tackles J.J. McCluskey from behind. That would have been a touchdown. They just activated him this week. I don't know what the heck he was doing.
So it's an opportunity for the Cardinals and a little wide receiver around. Frank Sanders on the reverse. Picks up about 5, close to the 35-yard line. In fact, they spotted just inside the 35-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Sanders, a speedy wideout, number 81. The offensive coordinator, Mark Trestman, on the sideline. Tony Case standing next to him, one of the reserve quarterbacks. And Trestman, a lot of discussion here in Phoenix. Did he make things too complicated for Jake Plummer? And Plummer disagrees with that thinking at all. He says, hey, I've got to learn this, and I know it'll be good when I do. 2nd and 5. Good hold for Morrell. Morrell has first down to the 27-yard line.
You know, on 2 early runs, they've been doing some good things with Adrian Morrell. Now, behind him, he was out. They had Mario Bates in there last week, and they also brought in Michael Pittman, and they're not seeing things as well as Morrell can see them. Morrell's a good veteran running back, sees the hole, knows where to take it, and both those runs he had that were good were over Dishman, the left guard, who's back from injury.
Mario Bates in the lineup at running back now for the Cardinals. Right in motion behind the ball. They give it to Bates. Bates hit just over the line of scrimmage. Not much. Maybe a yard.
Doug Brown. Now, I say that Morrell had some good runs. And one of the things that's been a problem has been the push, the point of attack. It has to go this way. When it doesn't go this way, that's when your backside pursuit makes plays. And for the Cardinals, the problem in their offensive line has been there hasn't been that push at the point of attack.
2nd down, and still about 10. Gedney, the tight end, diving down to the 20. The ball came loose again.
I think the ground might have
caused that one.
No signal as yet officially, but they now show it as Washington ball. Gedney, the tight end, number 84. Stanley Richard came up with it for the Redskins. The free safety.
Well, the officials were down there closer than we are, since we're about a mile high up here. But from here, it looked like when he came down with the ball. Let's take a look.
The ball's out. The ball came out.
So a turnover, and the Redskins get it back at their 22. They give us to Hicks, and he gets about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Go back and look at that fumble by Chris Gedney.
Well, the officials were right. They were all over this call. Dishman takes his legs down low, and then watch Mark Smith come in here. Derek Smith, I'm sorry, linebacker 50 for the Redskins. He comes in and hits him when he's in the air, and that ball pops out.
Stanley Richard came up with it. Just their 5th takeaway of the season. That's been a problem for the Redskins, so they like that feeling right now. Green's pass, nice catch by Asher, and Asher will be close to the first down. Jamie Asher, the tight end, number 84.
Yeah, that's to his roommate. His roommate, they've been talking with one another about how do you get me the ball, and Jamie Asher was a little upset last week because he didn't get a chance to start, but he's been very productive in the last 2 games. And Phil, you know, as a roommate, you got to be able to butter up the quarterback.
He's asking him, you know, he wants the ball.
Did you ever room with a quarterback, Mize? That would be an
of course
upset.
he did.
They would actually.
Yeah, he did.
They never gave me a roommate.
That's right on the marker. It'll be first down.
You know, the thing about Asher, too, he's been taking a lot of heat about after he catches the ball, not getting any yards after the catch. And that time, the linebackers blitzed up the middle, so he was settled in the middle of the field. There was no one there. And he caught the ball, and I think he might have gained 1.5 yards with no linebackers around. So, it's a start.
Mitchell in at the running back position. North Turner said we could expect to see Mitchell, Hicks, Stephen Davis even could be in that spot in addition to his fullback role. This is Mitchell. Good hole for him. Ran into his own man. Ran right through Albert Connell. Otherwise, he would have had the first down. Instead, he's at the 40-yard line. He'll be short by 2.
The Redskins tight ends, they got some good ones. They got Jamie Asher, Steven Alexander. Watch here. There's Jenkins. Watch him seal the wall right here on Wadsworth. And then you get Milstead up there, and there's the hole. They've got a group of some good ones. Steven Alexander, Jamie Asher, Jenkins, and Mike Sellers, the rookie, also. Quality depth of tight end for the Skins.
Hicks and Davis back in the I formation. And they go to Davis, the lead back. Got about a yard on that 2nd and 2. Andre Wadsworth, the defensive end, planning down to make the first hit. That'll leave 3rd and about a half yard for the first down.
Mark Smith was in there as well. And I talked about depth at the tight end position for the Redskins. You want to talk about depth. And they've got some depth with Arizona. Now, some of that depth at defensive line has been injured. Swan is out. Brad Otis is out. Jerry Drake is out. But they've got pretty darn good replacements.
3 tight ends in here to block, and they make it work. Skip Hicks, the rookie, gets the first down to the 48-yard line of the Redskins.
You know, Arizona, you talk about the defensive line. You know, heck, they had Swan and Rice and then Wadsworth they draft, and then these guys get hurt. Look, they're all out. And then you think, well, what the heck are we going to do? And they plug in Mark Smith, Rashad Swinger, Bernard Wilson. And, Ronnie, these guys have really stepped up and played well.
Yeah, they have, Bill, but you know what? You always need a little weight there. And Dave McGinnis has done an excellent job, the defensive coordinator, getting these guys motivated.
This is Hicks again. Hicks with a little running room and then a little muscle gets it out to the 45-yard line of Arizona.
Well, a little muscle and a lot of weight. Trey Johnson there led the charge. He got that block on Mark Smith and really got some push. And that's going to be an interesting battle all day. These two guys going out. Here's Trey Johnson. Watch him get the push right here on Smith. See that? That's push. Remember I was talking about the point of attack for Arizona? They didn't have that push, that pop. Trey Johnson has it. It comes in the form of weight.
Hicks and Davis in the offset eye. Tight end Alexander spread wide to the left. Green trying to go to the short man. The ball came right back to him off the hands of McCombs. McCombs got his hands up well, the linebacker, and it came right back into Trent Green's hands.
And, you know,
tried to turn something.
And Norv Turner said, bat it down, bat it down. You can see him when he was walking back, bat it down. But right here, McCombs makes an excellent play, but you want to knock this ball down. You don't want to catch it and run with it.
If you're keeping score at home, that's a reception for Green.
And a completion for Green.
Sure is. He threw it to himself. Now, you're wondering, well, hey, can he find someone downfield and throw the ball downfield because he's still behind the line of scrimmage? No, you cannot. The only thing he can do is run with it.
So it leaves 3rd down, a little more than 10. Going deep. And just overthrown, intended for Shepard, Leslie Shepard.
That thing was up in the air for a long time, wasn't it?
For a long time. But I think the reason why there is because he had to get rid of the ball. They were coming on a blitz, and he held on to it, and right there you see Bennett coming. I got to let go of it.
Yeah, he was hoping Shepard could run under it, and it was close enough. But it is a punting situation.
Tim, it's never close enough.
No, you're right on that score. I'm sure Shepard would say the same. The punt for Metcalf at the 5-yard line of bounces, and it's knocked back out. Metcalf.
Bad decision.
Buries it there, and it's going to be Arizona ball, but at the 2-yard line. See this play again. Diving effort by Darrell Pounds, and it pays off.
Morrell comes out. He was in the huddle and came back out, and Bates comes in, and Morrell missed 2 games with that calf injury. Started off pretty good, too. He had over 400 yards in 6 games. Pretty good numbers, really, and they need him back in there to get the running game going to help Jake evolve.
Morrell coming over from the Jets in the trade. This is Bates. And Bates digs out for a couple close to the 5-yard line. Great effort by Darrell Pounds to bury the Cardinals down deep. A 51-yard punt by Matt Turk.
I talked about that point of attack. Watch right here. Look at these guys in this push. And it's just not there. The line hasn't moved, and he runs right into the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 8 for the Cardinals. Plummer starts Hardy, the tight end, in motion. Short pass. He's short of the first down. McWilliams, the tight end.
Yeah, Bill, when you look at this offense, and the thing that I like is that right there he was able to recognize Plummer, the tight end, being open, and that's an area where they've improved.
They did improve, but I want you to watch here, too. They blitz. Watch here. They blitz. And Bates has the pickup. They blitz the linebackers, so they knew that there's a zone in there. There's an area in there where the tight end can settle down. The tight end has to look, all receivers do. When they see those linebackers disappear into the line of scrimmage, they've got to settle down right away and turn back to the quarterback.
3rd and a yard. They give it to Bates, and Bates trying to cut it back out of the traffic will be short. Maybe lost a yard in the play. And Wilkinson there.
The one thing that Washington did last week and that they're starting the game with now is they're blitzing the linebackers. Mike Nolan is normally pretty conservative defensively. He wants to play gap control, everybody stay at home, but they're sending people. On the play before, they blitzed the linebackers. This time, it was a run blitz. They got up in there to try to blow the thing up. You have to be aggressive to try to make something happen.
You're creating effort. That's what they're trying to do, create effort.
Scott Players punt from the end zone. Mitchell takes it at the 48 of Arizona. Gets down to about the 42-yard line. Met there by Ronald McKinnon, the linebacker. 41-yard punt, 7-yard return. Back here at Tempe, Trent Green leads out the Washington Redskins. And as we said earlier, Trent Green can finally know that the job is meant to be his the rest of the way, barring injury. We'll talk a little more about that.
That's a pass.
And a pass off the option play. Brian Mitchell flags all around as Mitchell trying to get it downfield, had no chance to make the pass connect, but he gets a flag on it.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 95, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Jameer Miller, the linebacker, gets called with a face mask penalty.
And they had that defense really well. I mean, the secondary, all the guys knew right away that Mitchell was going to throw the ball.
There's Jameer Miller. Watch him string this out. He takes sharpward on us and strings it out. And he's trying to get a hand, and he just reaches those arms. Sometimes, I've said it before, Ronnie, when you're reaching and your body's laying out like that, you're throwing your arms up there, you grab anything that you can grab.
So the penalty has him down at the 27-yard line.
Good block.
Of the Cardinals, and that's Skip Hicks, the rookie from UCLA, gets about 3. So let's just return to the Trent Green thing if we can. That Green asking us last night, you know, like, well, the suggestion that he might be the starter the rest of the way seemed foreign to him.
He didn't want to know about it. He says, I don't know, and I'm not going to ask. And I guess when you're 1-7 and you're shuffling quarterbacks around all the time, you don't want to know. You just take the opportunities as they come and try to make the most of it. But then we talked to Norv, and Norv said, hey, that's the guy I'm going to go with. He's our quarterback for the rest of the season.
So it's 2nd and 7. The 25-yard line. And Green going deep to the corner. And it's broken up in the end zone. Excellent coverage intended for Connell. And it was J.B. Brown who tracked him all the way.
This is a matchup that they've been looking at all day. How are they going to try to get the ball on J.B. Brown, and how are they going to beat him? And right there, they felt that Connell was able to go up and take that ball. They're going to take their chances with that matchup. They think that that matchup is something that they can win.
There's Tommy Knight. He's normally the starter over there when he's healthy. Now, Tommy Knight's been battling injuries ever since he's been a Cardinal. But yeah, sure, when you have Aeneas Williams at one corner and then J.B. Brown at the other, you're going to take your chances with J.B. Brown.
So 3rd and 7. Green has some time. Trying to get it out to Leslie Shepard. Flag on the play.
Yeah, they got a holding call back here, I believe.
And it's back at the line of scrimmage.
No.
Redskins think it's against the Cardinals. Jerry Markwright agrees.
Illegal use of the hand. Normally, when they throw that up there, go to the line of scrimmage, that's that hand coming up into the face mask of the offensive lineman.
Number 97, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Simeon Rice, number 97, right defensive end.
There's Simeon right here. Watch his hand as he comes up into the Asher. Oh, no, it's not on Asher. It's... No. That's a missed call. That's a heck of a rush trying to push through the double team.
Well, it results in a first down, and that's 2 Arizona penalties for 20 yards on this Redskin drive. Not much running room there for Stephen Davis, the fullback. He's dropped by Andre Wadsworth. No gain on the play.
An impressive kid, Wadsworth. I mean, he's a champion, and so far, being in camp, he's already made an influence on these guys.
Well, you know, you're talking to the coaches. Look at the play there. He pushes through the down block and steps upfield and wraps up just as you're taught to do. And the coaches believe that his work ethic and his professionalism have really rubbed off on some of the other guys, like a Simeon Rice.
2nd and 10 from the 20. The pass complete to Asher. Asher gets down to the 16-yard line.
And he's down right where he caught the ball again.
Tony McCombs wrapped him up.
You know, back to Wadsworth, Ronnie, you talk about that. You're talking about professionalism and work ethic, and you're also talking about a rookie. And I think that says a lot about him. You know, a lot of guys are just anxious. Well, I'll come in and feel my way through my rookie year and see what happens. He's attacked this thing the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, and not only has he attacked it, but when you're a guy of that magnitude, knowing that you're the first-round pick, to be able to step in and do what he's done is fantastic.
Tom Knight and Kwame Lassiter into the secondary on 3rd and 6. Pass off the hands of Leslie Shepard. Couldn't bring it in. Williams had the coverage, and it'll be 4th down. That brings on Kerry Blanchard.
You know, I got to go back and think it. You see the drop pass here by Connell, and by Shepard, and then you think about Connell when he went up against J.B. Brown. And I'm sitting here watching, and I'm wondering, where's Michael Westbrook?
Well, and Norv Turner said that he wouldn't even use him in the 3-man set, that the 3rd guy in would be James Thrash. Again, as you pointed out at the top, saying Connell and Thrash played well last week. Meanwhile, Blanchard will try a 34-yard field goal to give the Redskins the lead. And it is good. Kerry Blanchard.
And you know what this whole thing goes back to? It goes back to Matt Turk creating field position.
The brothers, Dan and Matt. Matt had that 51-yarder that pinned the Cardinals back. Isn't Dan, the snapper, also a player's agent?
Yeah, he's a player's agent. That's Dan Turk. He negotiated his brother Matt Turk's contract.
Look at their hats. They look like twins. They probably had the same color flannel shirts when they're in school.
Metcalf waiting for the kickoff, and it comes down short at about the 16-yard line. Terry Metcalf on Blanchard's kickoff gets it out to the 35-yard line. Well, tonight, after an all-new World's Funniest, it's a star-studded all-new Simpsons, followed by the funniest That 70s Show of the season. Then, television's biggest event, the X-Files season premiere, all tonight, 7, 6 Central on Fox. And so the Redskins on the 34-yard field goal by Blanchard, 26 yards and 6 plays after Turk's punt, giving them that opportunity, forcing the Cardinals to start from their 2, and Washington leading 3-0. Adrian Morrell on first down, about a yard.
That's actually a play out of the Redskins playbook. That's one of the Redskins' favorite offensive plays, that play right there. Arizona pulls it out, and they try it, and you can tell they weren't used to running it because they strung that thing out too far. You've got to cut that right off the end or the tackle and get it upfield. They took it to the sideline.
Got a half-yard gain. Plummer throwing on second down. That's complete.
No secret to who.
Rob Moore.
Oh, they're saying it's incomplete.
Whoa. Well, he didn't hold on.
They said he didn't have possession.
Yeah, and he's giving Darrell Green high five there because Darrell stayed with the play. He fought through the play. He stayed with them, and you can see right here, he keeps the strip going, and he gets it out, it looks like.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Redskins 3, Arizona nothing. Fox NFL Sunday continues after this message from your local Fox station. A little less than 2. You can see that he kept that ball off the ground after the hit from Darrell Green. So third and less than 2. Plummer pumps once, backs up, fires it upfield, intended for Moore again. That one will be out of bounds. And so it brings up fourth down.
Third down. You have to be able to win on third down. Now, you want to talk about Jake's numbers? Watch the block right there. How can you do anything if you're not making your blocks up front? You know, a lot of criticism has been put on Jake. Where is he? He's not thinking. The offense is too complicated, so on and so forth. But it starts up front. If the guy's running for his life right from the get-go, you don't have much chance for success.
Player hits it from the 32 of Arizona. Mitchell lets that short punt bounce, and it lands at the 25-yard line. Not bad field position for Washington.
You know, you talk about the offensive line rankings. We came up with a little system. What you do is you take the average yards per carry right here, and you add sacks per play, and you come up with a total. Then we just add them. Denver's ranked first, third, you get 4. Now, I want you to look down here. Arizona is 29th yards per carry and 24th the sacks per play. That's a 53 Moss rating, and that's the worst in the league.
That's a very mossy rating, number 30 in the whole league. That is the bottom. Good run for Skip Hicks.
A Moss rating, huh?
And we got to figure out, you know, you have to find a way to, you know, think about these offensive lines. Everyone just talks to them. You ever look at a press guy?
Coming from a defensive guy, I like that.
Well, we have to rate them. We have to find something good about it. And unfortunately, you know, in the ratings, you also find out something bad. And we found out something bad for Arizona. And you want to talk about good? There's good. Moss rating on Russ Grimm is cool.
Second and less than a yard required for the first down. It looks like the Redskins have it. Out to the 38-yard line, Skip Hicks, the rookie, running hard.
Watch Pat Tillman right here. Ronnie, we talked to him. He said he wants to get up involved in plays more. He likes to get some hits in early.
Yeah, and you know, Bill, when you're a young guy, you feel like you want to contribute. Plays are not coming to you, so you want to go find one. And really, he just has to play within himself. A big hitter, a linebacker in college, but he'll get his share.
Tillman, like Plummer, a big star at Arizona State right here at Sun Devil Stadium. 7th round pick and starting right from the opening game. This is Brian Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get wide. Strung out well by the Arizona defense. Got only a yard, maybe 2. Close to the 40-yard line.
Miller, 95, ran him out of bounds. And, you know, he's a guy that's really stepped up. You talk about the success of the defense for the Cardinals. You have to point to the 3 linebackers. And Jameer Miller's really been the leader. He's come into his zone. He's got his life together. He's on the right track. He works hard.
He's the veteran back there now.
With Dave McGinnis talking to him, he said, you know, you could really see the change in the offseason and what he was doing in his work ethic.
Just 24 years old. He's the main man there with the 2 youngsters, McKinnon and McCombs, lined up with him. Green up the sideline, intended for the fullback, Stephen Davis, but a big collision out of bounds. Looked like one of the staff went down as well, one of the training staff.
But you're talking about
a player down.
You're talking about plays, and Pat Tillman, excellent play. Excellent play on his part. He was able to read the quarterback and get his hand in there and was trying to bring it in, Bill.
There's still a player down on the Cardinals sideline. Tony McCombs is apparently the injured player, and Tillman took quite a tumble, but he bounced up. McCombs getting up a little more slowly.
You know, you're talking about Tillman. You take a look at McCombs right there as he hit the sidelines. Talking about Tillman, though, Ronnie, what he did there was you could become over-aggressive, being anxious to get up there and get a lick on somebody. He didn't. He stayed back there, and he was detailed in his responsibility. Because had he come up and started to force something, that could have been a huge play for Washington.
And he took the right angle, Bill.
Washington with a 3rd down and 8 at their own 40-yard line. Cardinals show blitz. Green stands in there, and he's off the mark with his pass. Good coverage
Again
on the
by
tight end
Tillman.
Asher. And
Again.
it was, Tillman.
And to see that play, because at practice Friday, I asked him, I said he was trying to cover a tight end, the tight end got away from him, and he said, Ronnie, look, I can't let this happen. And to see him man-to-man coverage on a tight end, I'm happy to see that he was able to correct his mistake in practice.
So the Redskins have to punt again. They lead 3-0 here early in the 2nd quarter. Matt Turk, 2 65-yarders in the win over the Giants last week. He averaged better than 45 yards, having to punt 10 times in that game. It's a nice turn on that ball. Drives Metcalf back to the 6. Nice move by Metcalf right into his own man. Mark Maddox, the linebacker.
That may be the hit of the week.
Boy, it's tough enough out there to not have your own man tackle you. Now to have started the game at right defensive tackle. That's a spot normally held by Dana Stubblefield, one of the 2 high-ticket guys, along with Dan Wilkinson. Stubblefield gone to knee surgery for 4 to 6 weeks. On 1st down, play action, Plummer with time, goes to the short man, Sanders. Sanders gets out to the 25-yard line. That'll leave 2nd and about 2.
He's 6'2". Why do you call him a short man?
That's right. He's taller than me. Sanders gets it out for about an 8-yard pickup, maybe a little bit more. McWilliams and Gedney now double tight ends are in here on this 2nd and short for the Cardinals.
And one of the things Tressman was talking about, too, winning on 1st down. You'll get a big play on 1st down. It sure makes things a heck of a lot easier to move the chain.
Play action fake. Plummer with a lot of time going deep for Moore, and it's too far.
Oh. Jake wishes he had that one back. He knows that's on him, and he knows it.
Chris Dishman had the coverage on Rob Moore.
He
I like him going deep, though.
Yeah, he did everything right there, but give the ball some air. And what I mean by air is just throw it out there so Rob Moore can run underneath there. He line drive that in there, and he'll learn that. You got to give the guy some air.
Stanley Richards, the free safety, jumped the crossing guy, too, Ronnie. And you know, being in the center of the field, you can't jump that guy. You have to help out your corner.
Cardinals get to convert on a 3rd down. And Plummer slipped and fell down. He was going to get buried anyway, but he might have gotten the ball off had he not slipped. That happened to him last week a couple of times.
Well, geez, you get 8 yards on 1st down. Let's take a look at Plummer here. And then you can't convert. He just lost his footing with his left foot.
But what he also lost there, Bill, is that confidence. You know, he's starting to move, trying to get out of the way of a guy that's not even close to him yet.
Scott Flair hits from the 9-yard line. Ryan Mitchell takes it at his own 33. And Mitchell gives the Redskins good field position at their own 46-yard line when we return to Sun Devil Stadium. Here in the 2nd quarter, they're up by 3. Is now the running back in this 3-wide formation. You see, Thrash is one of the 3 wides. Again, if you haven't been following that Washington story, Michael Westbrook not playing even in the 3-wide setup for North Turner. Mitchell takes the pitch out, blocking out the right side, and he makes a nice cutback and picks up about 7. So Mitchell, who had a 100-yard kickoff return on the opening play, called back because of a penalty, been returning punts and doing a job as a running back as well.
Yeah, that was all Mitchell on that play. Right here, he takes the ball. He sees that he's stretching out the defense, and Jameer Miller's outside. He cuts back inside him. But that was all Mitchell on that play.
Yeah, because Wadsworth stuffed the whole thing up.
Remember, the Redskins without Terry Allen today, 616 yards rushing, 16 catches out of their lineup with a knee injury. And that is Skip Hicks And Hicks may have the first down. And he does. First down, Washington, the rookie from UCLA.
You know what? As a defensive lineman, Ronnie, one of the tough things is if you play too aggressive and you shoot upfield, sometimes, see how Trey Johnson just pushed them by? Sometimes they use your over-aggressiveness against you. They just turn and give you a little push, and your body momentum keeps going.
Hicks again, trying to get wide. E.S. Williams forces him out of bounds. Not much there, maybe a yard.
That's one thing that Norv said he had to do. I have to get a run game going. I've got to get some kind of ground game going, and that's why he went with Hicks. Now, in the preseason, Hicks had the fumbleitis, and Norv's still a little concerned about the fumbles, that he could do that, and he's also concerned about any kind of pass protection if it occurs while Hicks is on the field. And those are two things you have with any young running back. But he does like the way the kid runs, and he says we need him to get this offense going.
High formation, slot left. They have only a yard on that last play, so it's second and still nearly 10. Green, who was one of his last 6, connects there to Stephen Davis out of the backfield, circling the fullback into the middle, and that picks up about 4, close to 5.
And, you know, there you see Pat Tillman take away the deep middle, and he was back there. The play before, he was up at the line of scrimmage. Norv Turner saw that and said, look, let's attack the young rookie. Pat Tillman stayed back in the middle, took away the deep ball. Trent Green had to drop it off.
That's one thing Norv has always been credited with every place he's been, Ronnie, is that he can create matchups. He can look at the field and put his offense in good situations to win.
3 wide receivers and Brian Mitchell in as well. Mitchell out, but Green shakes off one pass rusher, gets the pass off to Asher, the tight end, and Asher has the first down. Excellent job by Trent Green. Simeon Rice had the charge on him, but Green eluded the rush and made the play.
Well, you saw McGinnis upset. We should have had that. Look how close they were to having a sack here, but look at the composure by Green. Being able to avoid the rush and not giving up, and I think that's one key element. That's why he's on the field now, and Gus Frerotte isn't. Because Norv has just become disgruntled with the fact that Gus isn't handling the pressure like he did 2 years ago.
First down, Redskins, and this is Hicks. Hicks running hard inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
Big hole off the right side.
And what did he say about this field, Skip Hicks? Skip Hicks played here when he was at UCLA and said he likes this field. He's always had success here.
A fast track. He says it's a very fast field. Watch the blocks here. Down block, and then they come off on Jameer Miller. Nice block by Sharp Pordanich. Sharp blocks down, you're coming down, and then you come off your down block and get upfield on the linebacker, just get a piece of him, enough to create a scene.
Hicks followed it well, a 28-yard gain to the 5. Here's Hicks again. Not much there, got a yard, maybe 2. Rashad Swinger in the spot normally occupied by Eric Swan. The All-Pro is out with a knee injury. At least 3 more weeks, they figure, for Swan to get back in there.
Another thing you have to learn, too, as a young running back is know where your hole is, because your hole's right here. Your hole's on the backside where Mark Smith, again, was over-aggressive and got upfield.
Good effort by Hicks, got 2 in that traffic. Second and goal from the 3-yard line. Play action fake to Hicks. Green looking to the end zone. Now he takes off, and Green is stopped right back at the line of scrimmage. Got a pretty good lick from Tony McCombs, number 50, the linebacker.
Green showed me some guts. I like what I'm seeing out. Now watch Hicks come up here and get a chip right there. He gets a piece too.
But right here, that's what you got to like.
Put your
Trying
head
to get
down.
in there.
Put your head down and go.
So he wound up with a 1-yard pickup. 3rd and goal from the 2.
There was nothing tentative about that.
Sellers comes in as an extra tight end to block, number 85. Skips the lone setback. Stephen Davis in motion. This is Hicks. Hicks trying to dive in there. Yes, touchdown. Skip Hicks. Had a touchdown last week. Gets his 2nd of his NFL career here today and opens the lead for the Redskins over the Cardinals.
Nice call, nice play. run the counter play, get it inside, and let Skip Hicks jump into the end zone.
Cardinals with an injured player down at the goal line, now being assisted to his feet. That is Williams, Aeneas Williams, and he's apparently all right.
Two things on that touchdown drive. You go back to the pressure Trent Green had, and he made a first down out of nothing when it could have been a sack by Simeon Rice. Then he kept his composure, and he fought through it and got the ball to the 2-yard line on a run, and also the running effort of Skip Hicks. Two young guys performing well. And Ronnie, we talked about it last night. We were saying Skip Hicks, this could be a breakout day for him.
Gary Blanchard will attempt the point after as the sun breaks through. Some overcast. It's been hanging around here today. You can see the field a little lighter now. Sun Devil Stadium. And the point after is good. And so the Washington Redskins, with 6:30 still to go in the first half, now lead it 10-0. Plays for this guy, Skip Hicks.
You know what I liked about it, too? He was down there thanking the offensive lineman. Watch the block here by Davis on Jameer Miller, and then Trey Johnson, 77, pulling through. There's the hole. Davis, Johnson. Touchdown. That's the power O play. Down block, and then pull the offside guard and have him kick out the support guy.
And, Bill, you talked about Skip Hicks. You thought that was a steal. I also thought that was a steal. He was able to come from UCLA, a winning program.
Third-round draft choice. I thought they got a good one.
Metcalf takes the kickoff from the 5-yard line for Arizona. Kerry Metcalf has some running room. Nice moves by Metcalf out to the 45-yard line. Well, that's the kind of razzle-dazzle fans have expected from Metcalf. And he showed it to them there. Now for an NFL update, let's go to Joe Buck in our studios.
All right, Tim, the first-place Cowboys stay undefeated against NFC East foes with a 10-point win over the Giants this afternoon. Emmitt Smith becomes Dallas's all-time leading rusher with his 32-yard run, passing Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. The Cowboys will be in Arizona next week right here on Fox. Back to Arizona. Tim, Bill, and Ronnie.
Okay, Joe. Well, of course, the Cardinals trying to keep pace with Dallas, but they trailed 10-0. This is Adrian Morrell. He gets about 3. Arizona has had 4 3-and-outs so far in this first half. Yeah, but they got good field time on the 40-yard return from Eric Metcalf.
Well, the thing about it is, too, all those things right there for Arizona on third downs, they have not been able to convert. They're 0 for 4 on third down. Now, you can't move the chains if you're not converting on third down. You got to move the chains to be able to get down the field to score.
That's part of the West Coast offense, Bill. You got to be able to move the chain.
2nd and 7. Washington had to run a defender on the field. They go to centers. A reliable fullback with great hands has a first down in Washington territory at the 41.
Well, they had nickel out there on the field, defensive backwise, but what? They didn't have the rusher in here. Here comes Kalo. And Dookie. ND, they call him.
That's a 10-yard completion. That's the longest so far for Jake Plummer, who's now 5 of 9 here in the first half. Gibney in motion. Plummer has some time, comes back the other way. Rob Moore looking for a flag, gets it. He was grabbed, no question about it. Dishman got a hand on his hand. And a first down at the 27-yard line.
Number 26, defense. Automatic first down.
Okay, all right. Ronnie, we're going to see it. You're going to see his hand here, and you're going to see the hold and have a piece of him. I got to ask you something, Ronnie. What's wrong with Chris Dishman this year?
Feet. You got to have legs. You got to have feet. And what happens when you don't have legs, you grab. You use your hands.
33-year-old Chris Dishman, 11-year veteran, acquired as a free agent with Houston.
Nice cut.
He has struggled. That's Morrell with a very nice cut inside the 20-yard line. Adrian Morrell, stopped by Patton.
So if he doesn't have any feet, what are in those shoes?
The same thing that are in my shoes. Lead.
Here's Morrell with that nice move.
And it wasn't lead in those shoes, because that was a great cut right there.
Coming off that calf injury. And it sets up 2nd and 2. Cardinals want to throw, but Plummer is sacked. Wilkinson leading the charge and getting a hand on him first.
You know, and we talk about Plummer. Here's Wilkinson beaten home with the arm over move and just pushes through. And he had some options downfield, too. This could have been a big play. So I go back, and then everyone says, well, what's wrong with Plummer? And I'm telling you, it all starts up front, and primarily the 3 inside guys.
Second sack for the Redskins, and that's 3.5 season for Wilkinson. Plummer taking off and gets down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. And that's what the Sun Devil fans want to see from this guy.
And it's
16 yards.
And it's no lead and no speed. Quick feet, smart play, great call in the situation, and taking advantage of Jake Plummer's ability.
This is a design call. Mark Trestman, watch. He gets them spread out here in nickel situation. There's nobody in the middle of the field. The linebacker, everybody is outside. That was a designed call.
Plummer took advantage. His longest run of the year, 16 yards, matching his number. First and goal. Inside the 10. What? Tried to get off tackle and then had to take it wide, and he got nothing. They'll lose a yard or two. Chris Dishman driving him out.
And remember, I'm talking about the offensive line. There's no push. Here's the point of attack, and there's no push here. It's stuffed right here. There's no, you have to bounce. And if you make a back bounce, that benefits the defense. Ronnie, you know, you don't want them getting into the line of scrimmage with a head of steam. You want them to get to the line of scrimmage and bounce outside. That's when the defense wins. And for Arizona, their offensive line doesn't have the push at the point of attack.
That was the other Chris Dishman from Nebraska you were pointing out, number 67. This is Gedney close to the goal line. It'll be third and a yard to go.
Jake Plummer did an excellent job of moving the defense there. You'll see him drop back in the pocket, and he'll move the defense because he'll give a little hitch move, and that's what you want to do. Move the secondary. Excellent play by him. Excellent skills.
And that's something we've seen he hasn't been doing. But as he's learning this offense and learning who he has to face, and that's the safeties primarily, get them to bite on things. We didn't see that last couple of weeks, that hitch, and it could have bought him some time and some points.
High formation here on third and goal from the 1. Boyson is an extra blocker. Bates trying to dive into the end zone. No signal yet. Redskins say they stuffed it. No, touchdown. Officials saw it otherwise. Mario Bates dives in and breaks the plane to the goal line with that football. And the Cardinals are on the board with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Mario Bates, who came over as a free agent this year from the New Orleans Saints. Morrell, the other new runner, of course, in the trade from the Jets. Michael Pittman, the rookie draft choice in the 4th round. All new running backs for Arizona this year. Edney for the point after. And he's got it. So Bates touchdown at the point after draws the Cardinals to within 3 with 2 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Fox NFL Sunday.
Some hard-hitting stuff. What? Sean Barber, Derek Smith, and Marcus Patton are just throwing their bodies around. It was a touchdown, but with some great effort by the linebackers core of the Redskins.
Now I know where John Madden gets that sound. Bam!
Well, that's the kind of effort that Redskins fans have been looking for all season long, and it's come alive the last couple of weeks. This is Mitchell. Mitchell, that terrific way he has to just find those little holes on those returns and pick his way up to the 35. 30-yard return.
You talk about the effort of the linebacking core on that touchdown play. You know, that comes from Mike Nolan. And he's got these guys, they have an effort film. Every day of practice, they start off, every day in meetings, they start off with yesterday's practice. And they go through, and he points out people that aren't hustling. And you'd be surprised how much more you will hustle when you're in a meeting amongst your peers and you're getting picked out.
Redskins with first down from the 35-yard line after that 30-yard kickoff return by Mitchell. Green almost sacked, eludes it again. This time he'll go down. Simeon Rice We missed him the last time, missed him on his first attempt this time, made sure he finally got him.
Hey, Simeon's going too hot. I mean, that's the problem. He did it the first time, he eluded him, and then again here, he missed him on the first chance. Watch, he comes in up top here. He's up top, he's got to come low.
Green, shorter drop this time, and unloads, connects, but only
That has
for
to
a
be
short
Asher.
gain.
I didn't see the yes, it's Asher.
Jamie Asher, his roommate, connects again.
He's gotten a bad rap on that, actually. You know, people saying he doesn't have yards after the catch. Well, a lot of times at tight ends, what you're doing is you're running those hooks and seams, and you turn it inside, you turn it back to the quarterback so you can create separation from the defender. Then you make the catch, and then you get splattered.
And that's what Steven Alexander hasn't learned yet. He's got to learn how to play basketball, and really that's what you're doing there. You find the zone, you find the hole in that area, and you play basketball, and you turn your back. But you're right, Bill. It's hard to get yardage when you're playing basketball in there.
Cardinals take a timeout with 1:16 left in the half. Well, if the suspense is killing you, then tonight the wait is over. The television event of the season is here when Agents Mulder and Scully return in an all-new episode of The X-Files. The new season begins tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
As you talk about this game and where it's going, I'm seeing some things from Washington. They're doing some things offensively. They're finally getting a little running game going, and that's helping out Trent Green. Trent Green's also in there, Ronnie, and he's standing up to pressure, which they didn't have from the other guy, giving this offense a chance to succeed.
And Skip Hicks also helping out there as well.
Green now 7 of 13. Pressure again and sacked again. Flag down upfield. And Rice looked like he was the first guy there again. Rashad Swinger right behind him. Swinger playing the spot normally held by Eric Swan out with that knee injury. Swinger doing a good job.
Yeah, and Pat Tillman was holding Brian Mitchell there.
Tillman number 40, Mitchell number 30.
Number 40, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the sack will be wiped out.
Yeah, when you got somebody man-to-man, the best way to cover them and to stay with them, especially when the quarterback moves, you hold them. And right there, you don't have to hold them because the pass rush that they had was outstanding.
They had a little El Paso game on out there. That's where Simeon Rice comes down inside. The end goes first, and then the tackle comes around. A little stunt to create seams.
11 on the clock first half. Again, pressure on Green. Green shows a little speed of foot, takes it out of bounds and stops the clock at the 49-yard line of Washington. 1:06 to play first half. The charge came from Andre Wadsworth this time, flushing him over to the sideline.
Well, if he had did that little waggle pass and flipped it inside, Wadsworth would have taken that ball. And that was an excellent decision on Trent Green's part, not to waggle the ball in there, to hold on to it and to get some yardage.
Not huge offensive numbers by Washington, only 118 total yards so far, but the thing of it is 82 of them are on the ground, and that controls the game.
That's complete at the 35. Down inside the 25. James Thrash, number 87, the third wideout.
You're always looking for matchups out there, and you're trying to find if you can have a guy that's a little weak. And Tommy Knight hasn't had a chance to play that much. He's coming off an injury, and right there, Thrash was able to go right after him.
You know, it didn't look like he was ever in control of his body. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the injuries that Tommy Knight has had, and he's been sustained, but he sure didn't look like he ever had any control of his body through that whole route.
They wanted to get him out there on the field, working him in the 2-minute drills yesterday defensively. He has a hamstring attachment injury and missed the last 4 games with that. In the preseason, he had a shoulder injury, so he hasn't been real healthy at all this year. Their #1 pick last season out of Iowa.
You know, and if you're worried in your mind about putting that foot down to plant to come in and out of breaks with the receivers, you can see that his footwork that time, Ronnie, didn't give him a chance to succeed.
First down, Redskins threatening again here late in the first half. That's complete. And that is Asher once more down to the 6-yard line this time. Trent Green saying, you know, Asher comes over when we're rooming together on the road. I'm sure he whispers in my ear during the night saying, hey, throw me the ball. I don't know whether Asher actually does that or not, but you can imagine Green knows that his roomie expects to see the ball. He's seen it today.
Well, you saw also that he had some yards after the catch in, because then at that time he was running the seam. He's running down the seam that's vertical down the field, and Green put it out in front of him. It wasn't one of those where he had to turn back on the hook.
And really, he is the guy who was the leading receiver for this team last year.
Well, coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, Joe Buck and Ron Pitts will have scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report.
Buck and Pitts. That's a combo.
A good one. Bring us all that info with JB and the guys out at the Dallas Giants game today. 47 seconds remaining. First half. Redskins leading 10-7.
Did I see things right with Simeon Rice standing on his head?
First and goal at the 6-yard line. Green drops straight back. Looks like trying to get to the end zone, and it is broken up. Intended for Shepard.
And Brian Mitchell is wide open. They had a blitz coming. They forget to pick up Brian Mitchell wide open in the end zone.
There was some pressure up front, though. He never got a chance to see it. Simeon Rice was in there. Nice play by Tommy Knight. That was almost a pick.
Check out Brian Mitchell right here. You'll see him just swing out. Now, somebody's supposed to take him. The linebacker, he's all by himself right there.
Green had no chance to see him there when he saw that rush coming up the middle. He went immediately to his left, and there was Mitchell open to the right. Second and goal. This time they give it to Mitchell. Mitchell will score. Touchdown. Brian Mitchell. Well, he's done it all today. He was in the end zone on the opening play of the game on a 100-yard kickoff return that was called back by a holding penalty. This time he gets it in rushing the football.
Arizona outthought themselves that time, and they were a little bit confused with the way they lined up. And it just so happened that the Redskins running play that was picked was right into the heart of their problem.
So it'll be Blanchard for the point after with 38 seconds remaining first half. There's Brian Mitchell up to that play. 89 kick return yards, 19 punt return yards, 17 rush yards, 11 reception yards. He's been Mr. Everything for the Redskins, the veteran Brian Mitchell.
Take a look first. Look at the confusion. Everybody's standing up. Nobody knows where to go. And then here's the hole. McCombs has got too far outside because everybody is unsure of the defense call. Everybody's looking at everyone else and where are we supposed to be? Where do we line up?
And that always happens in that area. And the reason why you're not sure how to line up, because a lot of these guys are coming in and out of the game. You get a lot of wide receivers, and right there they thought that they were going to get a nickel type of defense.
Look at the confusion. Look at these guys. You don't think they're confused? And then they get pushed down inside, and there's the hole. Anytime you see a hole that big, chances are it's a mistake somewhere along the line.
But that guy right there is not a mistake. Brian Mitchell, old school, hard worker, effort guy.
During that 0-7 opening stretch for the Redskins, everything going so dismally, he was one of the few guys who was speaking up publicly about the lack of effort that he was seeing on the team, and he was a real cheerleader, but showing by his own example, and certainly one of the true leaders on the team, and he's taken it into his own hands so far in the first half today. Blanchard's kickoff, bouncer, gathered at the 10-yard line by Metcalf. Metcalf works his way out to about the 38-yard line.
You know, the one thing difference I'm seeing, Tim, in the Washington Redskins offense last week and this week than we saw earlier in the season is obviously the turnover. They're not turning the ball over. And for Arizona, that was one of their strengths defensively, with leading the league with 25 takeaways. And that hasn't happened today, and Washington's doing a fine job of taking care of the football and also the penalty thing. They only have 2 penalties, and this was a team earlier in the season that's all you saw were the mistakes.
Well, Jake Plummer's got 32 seconds to try to make some magic happen if they try to take the ball down the field, and he'll throw on first down. And That is intended for Rob Moore.
Yeah, and he's just going to Rob Moore. And actually, Rob Moore was in double coverage right there. If he was going to take a shot, he had some shots on the outside.
28 seconds left.
Yeah, he just didn't look really sure right there. And Mark Trestman, this is an area where you got to work on your game. You got to work on being able to execute this situation.
What I think it shows is that he doesn't have a total understanding of the offense when you're just looking for one guy.
Forced to scramble. Plummer.
This is where he's pretty good.
Now he's got a man down the sideline, but out of bounds.
No catch.
That is Sanders. Sanders saying that he had those feet inbounds. It did not appear to be the case from our vantage point high up here at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah, and when you see Plummer, and especially for myself seeing Plummer move around there, right there you can see he was out of bounds. But Plummer, looking at him moving around the pocket, now you can see why people say he's a lot like Joe Montana. The quick cut right there, finding, still looking up the field, still trying to make his receivers work. That's what I see right there, and I used to see that all the time in practice.
4 wide receivers here on 3rd down. Plummer ducks under the first charge, but he's hit from behind. That'll probably be no.
I think it's a fumble.
It is a live ball
I think
because
it's a
there's been
fumble.
no. Well, now we got 2 versions here of the call. It's now we see finally incomplete pass. 2 officials were seeing it as a fumble.
I think it's. I thought that was a fumble.
Officials were slow to signal anything, which meant that it was live.
Take a look at Jake. He'll tell you whether you see his body expression. He's going after the ball.
Well, hopefully he's going after just in case. I would have
He
given
thinks
him
it's a fumble.
Yeah, for sure. He made the tackle. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt on the forward pass, and that's how it came down officially. So the Cardinals will punt it with 7 seconds left. Fair catch signaled by Brian Mitchell at the 22-yard line. 4 seconds left on the clock. That's the 5th 3-and-out for Arizona in this first half. Well, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, the Eagles head to Washington to take on Darrell Green and these Redskins, and then Brett Favre and the Packers head to New York to take on the Giants or other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on Fox. Check your local listings.
Dallas here is going to be a big one for the division. And also, Ronnie, heck, San Francisco and Atlanta. Atlanta's 7-2. And Dan Reeves said it best last week, as Trent's going to take a knee here to kill the clock for halftime. Dan Reeves said it best. He says, on paper, they're a lot better. It's not who you play, but it's when you play them. And if you could beat a team or go against a team that has their starter out or an injury at cornerback or some key area through the season, you have a good chance to succeed.
Now for the Redskins, it was a Brian Mitchell show, and the Redskins lead 7. Arizona Cardinals 17-7. Cardinals, of course, they're trying to keep pace with Dallas winners earlier today, and Washington trying to get their 2nd consecutive win after 7 defeats. And I know the Michael Westbrook thing, Bill, is still very much on your mind. We didn't see him at all in the first half, but they're up by 10.
And because they're up by 10, you won't see them. Because as long as they're going to keep winning, they're going to keep a problem, or what North terms a problem, off the field and away from the situation. As long as they're completing the ball downfield, running the ball well with Skip Hicks, they're not going to take any chances and bring him into the mix.
That's right, and think about it. Jamie Asher now is turned into the leading receiver and has done an excellent job of controlling his team, getting the ball to him around the middle of the field.
One thing that's very clear is that the Redskins are getting a lot more effort than they've showed up until last week when suddenly they came together to beat the Giants.
Yeah, effort is something that everybody wants, but I think that the players now understand that, and especially last week when you saw some of these guys just flying around, you see a Carvey now being able to be 20 yards from the play and then hustling down there. Having effort like that always makes up for guys who can't get certain things done, and that's why I think that right now this team is playing well.
And today, look at the effort here by Wilkinson. And you talk about the effort, and you have to go back to when Mike Nolan installed that effort film, where you come in and you look at effort, and effort leads to productivity. And one thing he said, everybody's noticing, because we chart the statistics. Watch the effort out of these linebackers coming over the top line. Even though they scored a touchdown, there's effort. The bodies flying around. Statistics go up as effort goes up, and that's the one thing that they've noticed. And I really like the fact that, this fatherly image we got here with you looking over our shoulders, Tim. It makes me feel comfortable.
Well, good. But, you know, you've had a tough game. You needed to take a little rest here, sitting down.
I like that.
That's good, and you deserved it. You worked hard first half. Well done, boys. We give you both 8 points.
Guys.
8 points on a scale of 10. And here come the Redskins, who are right now probably 9 out of a 10, I'd say, and their effort at least as they lead this game. Long way to go, of course, for the Cardinals. This is a key game for them to get through that hump, the 500 hump. They haven't done it since 1991. They see an opportunity, as anybody would, against a 1-17. But offensively, they just haven't been able to get it going enough here to take the lead in this game. But, of course, with still 30 minutes to play, we've got a close football game. Jake Plummer hoping to make something happen. He's 6 of 13, 48 yards in that first half. Mario Bates with their only touchdown from 1 yard out, and Mark Trestman in that drive, they went 54 yards in 8 plays and took 4:30 off the clock. Trestman would like to see that happen more consistently here in the second half. Trestman, the subject of a lot of radio talk shows, as most people are around the country when they're under the scrutiny of the fans, and Trestman being criticized for taking away the magic of Jake Plummer. But both these guys agree. That is not the problem. And even Vince Tobin in this morning's newspaper here in Phoenix saying, you know, every offense, no matter whether it's West Coast, East Coast, or whatever, has to be able to run the ball. They got to get the ball downfield and have a short passing game. But you need to have good coaches to make it happen and good players to make it happen.
Yeah, and right there, you look at those guys right there that have run the West Coast offense, and the guy up top, Steve Young, 92, that's when it was his second year, but it took him 5 years to understand the offense he set behind Joe Montana.
Oh, yeah. He got there in 87, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then you take a look at Jake Plummer. This is his first year in the system, so he's just learning the thing. And I remember I was up in Green Bay in 93 with Brett Favre, and I saw those struggles, and I watched him evolve. As a matter of fact, they wanted to go to Mark Brunell. At 93, they were ready to yank him and put in Mark Brunell, and then it's a time-consuming thing, and he's going to get it. And Jake Plummer's going to get it. Now, I say that, and I also say that he's going to need some help, primarily at the offensive line position.
Well, that's an area that they're working on. They've got a couple of veterans and 4 kids among the starters, and they hope that they will grow and get better, and the team feels that they are getting better, that they've improved through the course of the season and are close to having it all come together as a unit. Metcalf doesn't bring that one out, and you can see the Redskins with 87 yards rushing, and the Cardinals with their total yards only 85 in the first half. That will not get it done. Time of possession in favor of the Redskins by nearly 5 minutes. Arizona simply had too many 3 and outs.
And this is equivalent to this. Time of possession goes with running the football.
So first down from the 20-yard line. Cardinals starting the second half. Adrian Morrell. Morrell got about 3.
You know, you talk about this offense, and you talk about the things they need. And one of the things is they really don't have a true fullback. Watch Larry Centers try to be a lead blocker here. Now, there's no movement. And so Morrell has to go someplace else because you don't have a true fullback. Now, he is a quality back. He's really good at catching the ball out of the backfield, but he's not a blocking lead fullback.
Well, the guy that would have been there is Cedric Smith, and he's gone for the season with an injury on IR, and he has been missed just in the way you described. And Plummer slips again. He gets the pass off and complete to Gedney, and they may have the first down. They do. That's a good effort on the part of Plummer, but boy, you got to think maybe he'd be changing his shoes. That's twice he's gone down today, and it happened twice last week, in addition to tripping once over his own player.
Yeah, and both times it's that left foot of his.
This is his field, of course. He played at Arizona State here, and you would think that he'd have the right stuff on to hold him up, but he's had problems here today twice. First down. Eludes the rush there and takes off and dives to the 40-yard line.
And you're just starting to see him get more comfortable with this offense. And I think what you're going to start to see in the second half, you're going to see him pushing the envelope just a little bit to try to make something happen with this offense.
Well, somebody's got to push somebody because they went ahead and they brought Matt Joyce in at guard, 73, right there. He's in at guard for Lester Holmes, and he was the one that got beat that play.
Second Morrell. Morrell got a couple, and it's going to leave third and about 2 yards for the first down.
And remember I talked about the point of attack, no push. When you don't have push here, your backside pursuit makes the plays. Because if there was push here, he'd be up and into the line of scrimmage. But now, there's no push, it strings out. That's when pursuit comes in and they make plays.
Over there, it's Lomas Brown at left tackle. Dishman is back after missing 4 weeks with a neck injury. Jerome Daniels has filled in for him. Dishman, the second-year man from Nebraska, 4th-round pick. 3rd down and 2. Short drop. And it's a first down pass play connected to the tight end, Johnny McWilliams. Over midfield into Washington territory.
There's a guy, Johnny McWilliams, who's figuring the whole thing out. He's starting to understand as a player in the NFL, as a tight end in the NFL, where he can be helpful, where he can get in the zone, where he can settle down and get behind the linebackers and create openings. And you can see that Arizona, they're not getting the ball to the wide receivers, and that's an area we thought for them to win, they have to do.
Well, he tried to get it to Moore, just unable to connect much in the first half. Again, Plummer flushed and scrambling. He's got a lot of running room. And goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line. 27-yard gain for Plummer.
You just talked about how these guys got to make plays. The wide receiver is Rob Moore. Well, what happens there is that you got Chris Dishman all over him, and he's got to stay with him because he knows how explosive he is. But this guy right here, you can't turn your back on him because once he's able to get free, he can make some things happen. That's Jake Plummer.
50 rushing yards. Chris Dishman being helped off the field. 50 rushing yards for Plummer, most of it on this opening drive of the second half. And they're now down at the Washington 22-yard line.
Pounds is in for Dishman, number 31.
To give us to Morrell. Morrell going to the left side. Nobody opening the hole for him there. He is stopped right over the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 2, close to the 20. They spot it right on the 20.
Well, you know, a lot of times you see Jake's rushing numbers there. There's a heck of a run. But a lot of times, you know, the cutback is a design play, and because you know where the hole is going to be on cutback. You know where it's going to open up and your best chances are. But they seem to be just cutting the ball back because they know there's nothing to the front side.
Play action again. Plummer eludes the rusher and connects with the tight end again. Gedney. Gedney down to the 6-yard line. Chris Gedney, 6-year man from Syracuse, picked up from the Bears last year. 12-yard play.
Well, that's making something out of nothing, actually, because what he did, he had Sanders on the post. I want you to watch Sanders come into the picture right here. He's going to come in over top. Look, you see Sanders?
And what that comes from is being able to see the field right there, Bill. He's just trying to find some room. And he sees that, well, I can give that guy a little shake and then go to the tight end.
8th play of this drive. A quick pitch outside to Moore. And Moore unable to get past Darrell Pounds as he had to reach down for a low pass.
What a grab.
Good catch. It gave him no opportunity to make a move.
Are you talking about Rob Moore or the shoe that Darrell Pounds grabbed?
Both.
Coming into the game off the bench like that and have to line up where Dish was and be in tune with what's going on, that was a heck of a job by Pounds.
Yes, there are 2 Chris Dishmans in the game, if you were wondering. The offensive guard for Arizona and the defensive back for the Redskins. Play action again, and this time centers. Touchdown! Larry Centers. Excellent pass receiver out of the backfield. Sure-handed catch there and diving in for the score. So an opening drive, 10 plays for the Cardinals. Well done. Start this second half.
Get down in the red zone. Mike Nolan came on the blitz. He came 2 consecutive times, and that time Arizona caught him.
Edney for the point after. 80 yards in those 10 plays. Jake Plummer just taking over the offense on that drive. Rushing when he had the chance to, and eluding the rushes and making things happen and connecting with centers for the touchdown. 17-14.
We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for $1?
Want to get away? Now you can with Cash.
A lot of times offenses will tip you to what they're doing. See the eye backs. Look how tight they are right here. That tells you run. Now Marcus Patton plays run, and it's pass. The eye back's tight tips you that it is going to be, excuse me, I said run last time. It's going to be a pass because you can't run it tight like that.
Nedney's kickoff. Taken by Brian Mitchell. And Mitchell, who was the Washington star in the first half, gets out to the 26-yard line. Jake Plummer, the star of that drive, 5 of 5 passing. Drive 5 for 5 passing, 41 yards, 2 rushes for 34 yards, connecting with Larry Centers on his final pass for the touchdown that brought the Cardinals to within 3. Jake Plummer and Mark Trestman got it cranked up and put together on that one, including a design quarterback draw for a big gainer. First down, Washington at their own 26-yard line. Skip Hicks, the UCLA rookie, shows some muscle there. The 230-pounder got to the 30-yard line before being driven back. Gain of 4.
Now, Skip Hicks has really been the guy that's helped out today. By getting the yards on the ground, carrying the football, he helped on that big drive that they had that took him down the field and then scored on the 2-yard run. But that's what Norv needs. You get some consistency in the running game, and other things fall in place.
Stephen Davis leading in the I formation. Out to about the 34-yard line. Hicks picks up about 4 behind the lead block.
He has 65 yards right now, and that's what he had the whole game last week. So you can see this guy, he's a young guy, and he's coming on. He's learning the system. He's growing. And we talked about before, I thought he was a heck of a steal in the 3rd round this year for the Skins, given the running back situations they have.
Kerry Allen out of action with a knee injury today. Hicks having to try and pick up the slack. Green in trouble is sacked. Simeon Rice, he got away from him again, but he's dropped at the 30-yard line. It's 3 times Rice has had the elusive Trent Green. And nearly lost him there, but he got help from a teammate.
Well, here comes the pressure right up here first. That helps. Mark Smith gets the push up front. See the push? And that flushes him up into the middle of the pocket and wrap him up, Simeon. Good effort, though. Staying with it, getting back up off the ground, and finishing the play.
So the Redskins have to punt. Second sack. McKinnon gets a piece of that one with Rice. Matt Turk's punt. Metcalf at the 19. And Metcalf slips down as he's dropped just over the 20-yard line by Brian Mitchell. Mitchell has done everything asked of him today.
We were talking to Mark Smith, the defensive tackle for the Cardinals. Can you imagine going into a meeting room and having Joe Green be your defensive line coach? He's watching the film and talking to you guys. There he is talking to Smith right now. You have to be wondering what he, Joe Green, one of the all-time greatest to ever play the game, actually thinks about you as a player.
Hey, and is he your hero?
Oh, he was. You better believe it. Mean Joe. I'd throw him a Coke.
First down at the 20-yard line. And that is Adrian Morrell getting 5. Now let's go for an NFL update to Joe Buck at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Tim. Bill is throwing a drink, not anything to eat. In San Francisco, Ty Detmer picks it up to start the second half. 4 of 6 on the opening drive. Camp on this 5-yard touchdown throw to Terrell Owens, his second of the day. It's now a 2-point game. The 49ers just got it back to Arizona.
Thank you, Joe. Here at Tempe, Morrell stopped by Derek Smith, and it'll be close to the first down for Arizona.
Hey, Joe, could you have gone a little bit longer on that description of everything? I mean, we had 2 plays run, and you were telling us about the New York Yankees and the World Series. And hey, this is football. Will you just get it back to us as quick as possible, please?
Especially when talking about that Niner game, man. Big implications in that game.
Third down and less than a yard to go. And they've got an extra lineman in there to block on this 3rd and short. And Mario Bates has it and then some to the 35-yard line. Bates really smacked it in there. There's Eric Swan. He's out with a knee surgery injury, and that'll keep him out for another month probably, and a big loss, but they've done a good job filling in for him with Rashad Swinger and Bernard Wilson.
But Jarius Hayes, number 48, that's who makes this play right here. Look at the butt. Bam! That's what you got to have. You got to have somebody step up in the hole, and that's something that they haven't had, Bill.
Linebackers should never get run over by tight ends.
First down at the 35-yard line, and Plummer sacked. The blitz came from Patton, and Plummer had nowhere to go.
That's a guy that just plays hard, and he doesn't care about what's going on around him, under any circumstances going on, what other teammates are doing, what the circumstances are. He just plays, and he loves playing football. We talked to him, and he says, hey, I got blinders on. And, you know, like the Clydesdales, they marched on the Budweiser truck, you know, he's got the blinders on the side. He doesn't let anything affect him. He plays football. He plays it as hard as he can all the time.
4 wide receivers here on 2nd and long. They run the ball straight ahead. Morrell to the 29-yard line.
And right here, Jake Plummer needs a little magic. I mean, we've talked about magic throughout the first half of the year. Doug Flutie magic. He needs some magic right here. They need to figure out how to capitalize because the momentum has been with this team in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
3rd and 16. Get some time. But good coverage downfield. His release man only gets about 3. That is Fred Brock. And so the Cardinals will have to punt. Some scattered boos come out from the crowd. Unhappy with them being unable to get downfield as they did on the opening drive of this half that brought them to within 3 of the Redskins. 4:37 and counting down here in the 3rd. Scott Players punt. Ryan Mitchell, busiest man on the Redskins squad today.
Oh!
And what a smack there, but Mitchell kept going forward and got near the 30-yard line. Patrick Sapp, the linebacker, number 55, with a hit. Back here in Tempe, Redskin ball, a 13-yard return by Mitchell on the 49-yard punt as Washington at the 30-yard line of the Redskins. Trent Green's first pass of this half, and that is in the dirt, intended for Thrash. They leave 2nd and 10, and Green now a 9 of 17 on the game.
Simeon Rice has given Brad Badger everything he can take. He's getting pushed. This is a one-on-one block here, and he takes him right back into Green. That's going to be hard for Green to get any kind of completion when he's throwing and taking a shot like that and the pocket's closing on him. Look, he looks right over to Badger. You see him? He said, come on, man. This has been going on all day.
That certainly answered why the ball went into the dirt. 2nd down, they run it with Mitchell. Make it Hicks, pardon me, Skip Hicks. And Hicks shut down right at the line of scrimmage. Rice a little inspired here.
I'll tell you, you know, you look at this and you think on paper, this is an area we should be able to attack. Come at him, take his light body, and get some push on him. He does a nice job here of staying outside, keeping contained, and stringing that out to the sideline.
Yeah, to give Ronald McKinnon a chance to catch it from the backside, shooting the gap.
Simeon Rice is playing a heck of a ball game.
3rd and 10 for the Redskins.
I can't say that every single week.
No,
but
I know you can. No,
today he's playing a heck of a ball game.
I know you're not his biggest fan, but that's credit due to him today. Green, that is dropped, incomplete, and the Redskins will have to punt. There's Shepard.
Today, Green has only 1 completion to a wide receiver. That's James Thrash. Connell and Shepard have not caught a pass today.
When you got Aeneas Williams covering you, it's pretty hard to cover. It's pretty hard to catch a pass.
Well, it's also hard when you got that defensive line of the Cardinals breathing down your neck to have the time to get the ball downfield.
All-pro punter Matt Turk, who had 2 65-yarders last week, stands at his 15. Metcalf waits for it at the 20 of Arizona. And that goes out of bounds, not one of his bats.
No, not at all.
Near the 35-yard line, and Metcalf lobbying for it being farther upfield. And we'll be back at Sun Devil Stadium in a moment.
It's down around the 33, 34-yard line. But it's not where it comes out down on the field where they mark it out of bounds. It's where it goes out of bounds along the sideline, in the trajectory of it. Okay? The referee's saying it's at about the 40. And it's a tough thing to gauge, actually, because obviously there's no invisible shield that goes as high as a punt would go.
Eric Metcalf knew that it ought to be farther upfield, and he pointed upfield, and he got it. It's at the 40-yard line. Good field position for the Cardinals. Sanders in motion behind the ball. Bates the running back. Bates slipped. That seems to be a greasy part of the field. That's where Plummer has had his problems, and we've seen a couple of other players who have slipped in that area from the 40 to about the 25-yard line.
Both those guys, too, have the 7-stud cleats on.
And they're both trying to cut off that inside foot. You got to plant with that outside foot, then work your way back inside.
So about a 1-yard pickup. Plummer, quick release. That's complete to McWilliams, the tight end. He'll be short of the first down, but it'll leave only about a yard to go, maybe a yard and a half for a first.
You know, they played a game here yesterday, and then you cut the field. You see the field, it's groomed, it's been pressed, it's been rolled. And that grass, when it gets cut and pressed like that, it may be a little bit shorter than they're used to playing on.
Arizona State beat California big time here yesterday in that game. Plummer.
Nice throw.
Oh, what a catch. That's a great grab. Sanders. One hands that baby and brings it down. 11-yard gain. And another first down, and they're in Washington territory.
Well, Jake threw this right where he could catch it, but what a grab by Sanders. Good throw and good catch.
Frank Sanders, the 4-year man from Auburn, their second pick in '95. With that good burst of speed, get into the open spots, and obviously some good hands. First down, 41-yard line, Redskins. That's Morrell. Morrell gets about 4. And again, the Cardinals putting a good drive together. They open the second half with it to draw within 3.
You know, the one thing that Mark Trestman's been able to do today is he's calling himself a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, he is.
And he hasn't had the luxury of being able to do that primarily because of all the problems they've had. The line's been injured up front. They haven't been able to get the ball downfield. The running back situation when Morrell was out, and then Jake's growing pains.
And they're rushing 4.6.
Bubble.
Loose ball, stripped from Plummer, pile up for it. And it is still Arizona ball. Close call there for the Cardinals as Plummer nearly coughed it up. Chris Dishman was able to get a hand on it and a big body to keep it for the Cardinals. That's Dishman of the Cardinals.
You know what Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, was talking about when he talks about Jake Plummer? He says, you know, I don't know, you know, you talk about the sophomore jinx. He goes, I'm not so sure if that isn't necessarily true because every time I see him, he's running with the ball. Somebody's stripping the ball from his hand or weird things are happening to him.
You got to keep it up high, Bill.
It was Kennard Lang who nearly got the fumble in Washington's hands. That's complete to Sanders again. Another good catch and a first down at the 30-yard line.
When you're a quarterback and you carry the ball low, it gives defenders a chance to swipe at it. If you carry it up high, you got a chance not to let those defenders fall on it. And that was an excellent throw right there by him. To be able to rebound from that and then come back and make a throw.
They'll let the clock wind down, yep, to the end of the third with the Redskins 17, the Cardinals 14, but driving. Fox NFL Sunday continues after this. It is a cactus, but I can tell you for sure it's not a cardinal.
Well, I can tell you this. It tells me that birds have no feeling in their feet.
And there are none of those cardinals out here in the desert.
Moss is them.
Can these Cardinals get over that hump? Trying to get over the 500 mark for the first time since '91. They trail by 3, opening the 4th. First down at the 30. Centers gets inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Driven out by Doug Brown. Brown has started the game at defensive tackle for the injured Dana Stubblefield.
You know, I talked about Mark Trestman, Tim. I talked about them play calling and making things happen, creating things. Watch this. They take Ralph Moore here, and they take him downfield. That opens us up, and then they dump the ball off underneath. Now, look at this team. See the depth here, the linebacker? Now, look at that. That's area to make a play.
Metcalf in with the receiving core. They go to Morrell. Morrell, nice running. Gets inside the 15, battles to the 13. It's Leon Evans, the safety.
And Bill,
Trying to
that's what
stop it.
happened. You talked about that right there about the linebackers dropping deep on that play. Now they come back with the run. They're not sure if Plummer's going to pull the ball out and run the bootleg. This time they're a little soft. He's able to stick it up in the hole, and now those safeties got to make the tackle.
Well, they like the matchup at going against Doug Brown, and they saw Jamal Duff in there. Jamal Duff is not a run stopper. They went right at him.
Plummer keeps it on the ground. Morrell, a big hole. Good burst from Morrell. Gets him down to the 3-yard line.
Same formation, same thing. This time they cut it back up inside. Aaron Graham right here. Watch these blocks. Nice block. He takes Doug Brown, seals him off to the inside. Nice play call. I'm telling you, nice job calling plays by Mark Trestman. Utilizing what he has on the field. Now they're going to take a timeout here.
But you know something, Bill? I was looking at that, and I'm thinking to myself, the effort thing that you talked about, and I want to see on that play next week what they're going to say.
You know, one of the things that Mike Nolan put in was that effort tape. He's going to take a look at those last couple plays, who was showing effort.
First and goal, Arizona. Chance to go ahead here. That is Bates diving, and he is stopped short. Got about a yard.
I know Michael Jordan's not here today.
There's not many people that can jump in from the 5. The only guy I knew that could do it was Gary Anderson. You remember that play in San Diego when he leaped from the 5-yard line and went in?
Yeah, I remember that play.
I'll never forget it. I see it so many times in slow motion, but I don't think Mario Bates can make that same leap.
Gary Anderson, the running back, not the kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a great athlete, the running back for San Diego, but they're at the 1-yard line inside the 2. They go outside. Touchdown. He walked in. Mario Bates. Mario Bates. That was a stroll to the end zone, and the Cardinals take the lead here in the 3rd. Jake Plummer was 10 of 10
I'll tell you, if I'm
in that 3rd quarter. Go ahead.
If I'm the Washington Redskins defense, I get pretty upset with those guys running across the end zone with those flags.
Plummer, 10 of 10, 77 yards. And then the run finishes it off here, beginning the 4th quarter, and the Cardinals take the lead. Nedney for the point after. Mario Bates with the score, a 1-yard touchdown run, his 2nd today. Nedney's point after is good, and the Cardinals lead 21-17, trying to get to 5-4. First time over 500 since 1991. And more importantly for them, this young team, a chance to keep pace with Dallas.
Watch Dish on the pull here. This is Chris Dishman, the offensive guard. Watch him pull right here, and then gets Derek Smith and just blows him up into the backfield.
Yeah, and they move the fullback there just to give him a little room so Hayes can get outside and take on that line, the defensive back there. That was an excellent call, getting Bates outside, move the fullback there, and letting him slide underneath.
Well, they didn't. There was pretty good pursuit to the outside. What happened at the point of attack, the corner wasn't held up. You have to hold up the corner, and that's the defensive end and outside linebacker's job. You've got to have push on that side.
The Cardinals used up more than 5 minutes off the clock. They have just absolutely dominated play here in the 2nd half in every category.
And I'll tell you what they did. They were going at Doug Brown and Jamal Duff.
$60 yards in 11 plays, 550. The length of that drive, time-wise. Edney's kickoff. Bates got the 1-yard touchdown run. And this is Brian Mitchell returning it out to the 22-yard line. Well, tonight, after an all-new World's Funniest.
Oh, ow.
It's a star-studded all-new Simpsons. Followed by the funniest That 70s show of the season.
Hey, man, I've seen that move before.
Then television's biggest event, the X-Files, all tonight, 7, 6 Central on Fox. Season premiere of the X-Files tonight.
That looked like a painful World's Funniest.
First down at the 22. Brent Green, and it's dropped by Asher, the tight end, number 84.
And McKinnon let him know about it, too. McKinnon had something to say about it. Jamie didn't like it. Here's Jamie. Watch him come out here. And he settles down, turns around. I think he was worried about that hit because he had his arms out in front of him, Ronnie. He just didn't catch it.
Yeah, took his head right up to the field and looked at that linebacker.
Mitchell, the lone setback, 3 wide receivers. You give it to Mitchell, and he's met in the backfield. Complete breakdown by the offensive line, and Simeon Rice, McKinnon, McCombs, everybody in there.
Effort, Bill, effort. You can feel it.
Rice. He just gets the push right there on Steven Alexander, and then McKinnon shooting the gap up inside. No place to go.
Simeon Rice having himself a big day.
Joe Green has been on him since he's been here 2 years ago about effort and playing consistently. He's showing signs of it today.
Lassiter into the nickel package. Deep drop.
This play's over. This play's over. It's over.
Flag down. It's a no play.
It was a false start.
False start is the signal.
Prior to the snap.
Prior to the snap.
False start. Number 74. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third
Brad
down.
Badger.
Yeah, and right now, Simeon Rice is occupying Brad Badger's mind. He's really concerned about him. Look, right here. He's so concerned about him, he's going to get the jump up here. See? And it's not crowd noise here today.
Oh, you saw McCombs trying to get some crowd noise. Doing the cheerleading there. They've got the Redskins bottled up in their end at the 13-yard line. Third down and 20.
We got some crowd noise now.
Green runs out of time again.
Mark Smith.
Big Mark Smith, the second-year man from Auburn.
Stomper. Stomper's his nickname.
There's 93. Watch the push. Right over the top of Trey Johnson. And Trey Johnson tries the old trip him as he goes by routine, and Mark Smith stepped over that, too. Heck of a play by Smitty. Stomper, we call him. He wouldn't tell us his nickname. We had to get it out of him. We had to use some tactics on him to get it.
Whoa, the ball went right through the hands of Matt Turk.
2 points.
And so 2 freebie points there for Arizona. Matt Turk, who had a 27-yard punt the last time he punted, this time lets the ball get away from him on the snap. That was a definitely catchable snap from his brother.
You see, the depth.
So the Cardinals get 2 more.
To do is take 1 step this direction. You got step right that way. He just puts his hands out there and tries to catch the ball, and it goes right through him.
You got to play it. You got to be a catcher. Just like in baseball, you got to get your body in front.
That must have been the same ball that Asher tried to catch.
Saw his brother Dan there. He was the snapper. I mean, it was not a perfect snap, but it was certainly catchable. Meanwhile, after the free kick, Metcalf to the 28-yard line. James Jenkins makes the tackle there. So Arizona adding 2 on that safety miscue by the punter. 23-17 the score.
Look at this here. So far, this half, look at the difference.
Skins have not got a first down in this second half. Jake Plummer, perfect in the air, 10 for 10. And they have the ball in decent field position at their own 28-yard line. Morrell, not much running room there, got about a yard, a little more. 10:30 to go in regulation time.
But it started with Plummer's feet. Yeah, he's able to throw the ball, but it started with his feet. If we go back, the thing that we talked about with this guy, he has to be comfortable. He's got to make decisions on his own. And so far, he's done that. He's making his decisions, playing his game, but it started with his feet.
Feet, when you're talking about when he was eluding rushes and making things happen.
And taking off on that quarterback draw. Throwing this time complete to Sanders. Sanders gets about 8 to the 36-yard line.
Well, that's the good thing you have with Plummer, Ronnie. You talk about the feet, and he's making things happen, or the rush coming in, find himself time. I think when his head catches up with his feet down below, he's going to be a heck of a guy, because you're always going to have the feet. And then when his head gets the understanding of this offense, and he gets some help around him, he's going to be a heck of a young quarterback. I mean, there's nothing but upside for this guy.
Second-year quarterback from Arizona State right here in Tempe. This is his home field. Second pick a year ago. Third down, about a yard to go. Cardinals in charge here in the second half. Plummer, good catch by Metcalf. Eric Metcalf gets the first down yardage to the 41-yard line.
You said help, Bill. Well, that's the kind of help you're talking about. Excellent catch by Metcalf there, but that's what you need. You need those type of role players around you to be able to situate what you have, and that's that ability to get out of the pocket and make things happen.
Plummer said last year he was worried just about getting the ball out of my hands. You know, teams will shut you down if you just keep doing that. He said there will be a time when I can sit back there like Warren Moon, who looks like he's reading a book and sipping tea. That's his goal, to be able to do that. Morrell. Nice running by Morrell. Nearly broke loose, lost the ball, and he was down at the 50-yard line, and he will be down by contact. Arizona ball. Leamon Evans diving on the loose ball, but he had already been down.
Now you watch his feet, and look how he's planting. Doesn't plant off that inside foot. He's working his feet, and that's what good runners do. They use their feet, and they use that outside foot, Bill.
And great adjustment of his body weight so that he didn't lose balance and didn't get overextended at any point in time. That's hard to do when you're moving that fast.
Morrell the lone setback, and second and a long yard. They go to Morrell, takes a nice step to his right. That's the first down, gets to the 46-yard line. Let's check in on that 49er game with Joe Buck at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Tim, in San Francisco, the 49ers have come back from a 16-0 hole. 29-yard touchdown throw from Ty Detmer to J.J. Stokes. Two-point conversion good. It's a 22-16 49er lead early in the fourth quarter. Back to Arizona. Tim, Ronnie, and Bill Moss. Birds have no feeling in their feet.
Joseph Francis Buck. You know he was my old guy. You know that.
He might be a bird watcher or bird lover, you know.
He is.
I think he's a little skeptical about your theory there.
He loves Cardinals. He's a Cardinal guy.
That's right. Reserve. This is Morrell. Morrell digging hard. He's going well for the Cardinals. Here, the football Cardinals inside the 40. Eric Smith on the tackle.
You know, the last play before that and this play, I'm starting to see these guys up here getting pushed this way. Watch. See, look at that. See, that's a push. That's getting movement at the line of scrimmage. Working on Kennard Lang over there, 90. Then they're coming back the other side and working on Doug Brown. But they're getting movement. They're starting to wear it. In the second half, Ronnie, when you can take over the game and pound on that defensive line and get pushed, that's when you take over a game. And that's what the Cardinals are doing.
92 yards rushing now for Morrell, 1,000-yarder with the Jets.
There's the push again.
And Morrell this time gets to the 31. And another Cardinal first down. They're just starting to mow through the Redskins now.
Yeah, as you have push, your safety's got to make plays. They got to be able to stick their head in there and make something happen. And right there, Stanley's got to find a way to fight that defender off and get through and make a play.
Stanley Richard, number 24, finally pulled him down, but you can see not before he's driven back. 31-yard line, first down.
Anytime you have a defender in front of you, the best way to shed them is you throw a forearm or you throw a rip right in front of them and get them off your body.
Morrell up to 101 yards. Bates in now. Bates has running room. Bates down to the 15 of Washington. Shredding the Washington defense now.
They did the same play again. It wasn't the same formation, it wasn't the same personnel, but it was the same blocking up front. I want you to watch Terry Hardy, the tight end. Watch this block right here. This is a young guy they really like. That's a tight end on a defensive end, and that's getting a block. That's not a devastating block, but it's an effective block because it turned the corner.
15-yard pickup for Bates.
They really like Hardy.
Rookie from Southern Mississippi, 5th-round pick this year. They're strong at tight end with these youngsters. McWilliams, a 3rd-year guy. Gedney, a 6th. He's a veteran. And Hardy. Bates again. This time, Doug Brown gets into the hole to stop him. Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator, saw a good effort last week against the Giants. A pretty good one first half here today. But his squad struggling now as Cardinals running the ball effectively and throwing as well.
Well, what he's telling them right now is bootleg, bootleg, bootleg. You saw 3 running plays to the left, so that's setting things up. Now you come back with a play action like it's going to be a run to the left, the same kind of attack, and then you bootleg the quarterback out the back. That's what Mike's telling them to be aware of.
Morrell the deep back. Sanders wide out to the right. Give it to Morrell. Morrell, not too much.
And now that's how you tackle. You come in there and you stick your head right in the numbers. And that's a good play by Stanley Richards right there.
Yeah, and Morrell said that to him. You could read his lips there. He's a good player.
When you're trying to make something happen, Bill, we've been in this situation before. The team's drived on you. Somebody's got to step up and make a play. But not only do you have to make a play, you got to make a sound tackle.
3rd down and 7. Cardinals threatening again. Morrell. Quick little steps, picking his way inside the 10.
Now, I got to ask you something. Washington came into the game giving up 155 yards a game rushing. Arizona came in, by all accounts, having the worst offensive line in the whole NFL. Has it actually proven that the Redskins defense is that bad? Are they that bad? Now you have Adrian Morrell over 100 yards on him by himself.
Well, a lot of that is what you talked about. Yeah, it's effort, but it's that push that you've been emphasizing, and they were able to do that now.
Adrian Morrell back from a calf injury. He's been the leading rusher. He's over 100 today for Arizona. Cardinals with 187 rush yards today. Season high for them.
Well, look at it. Look at the half. Now, Arizona, you saw the numbers. They're up around 5 yards a carry in the second half. And for Washington, they're not stopping the run, and they're not rushing the ball offensively.
Well, they did at least fourth down here. Nedney will attempt a 26-yard field goal. Nedney, who is 9 of 13 on the season, had the 53-yarder last week to beat Detroit. And that is good for Nedney. And the Cardinals widen their lead, 26-17. And with 3:09 remaining regulation time, Cardinals on top. Another long, time-consuming drive for the Cardinals. 7:39 off the clock, 63 yards, 12 plays, a field goal by Nedney from 26 yards out. A 26-17 lead. They appear to have finally gotten over the hump, broken the 500. Barring a miracle now, they will go to 5-4, keeping pace with Dallas. 19 unanswered points in this half for the Cardinals.
Oh, and just owning the clock this whole second half. Chewing it up in their favor.
Next week, Dallas comes here. They beat the Giants earlier. Only 46,000 here today for this game. A sellout expected for that one next week. This is Brian Mitchell, all down at the 18-yard line. Next week, a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, the Eagles will be in Washington to take on the Redskins, and then Brett Favre and the Pack, they head to New York to take on the Giants. Or other regional action, including that game here, Dallas at Arizona. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on Fox. Check your local listings. And Arizona appears headed to a 5-4 mark, first time since 1991 that they have been able to get over the 500 mark. They've tried 12 times to do so and only made it once. Brian Mitchell is the lone setback, and he's out in the pass pattern and catches the pass, reaching back to make a good grab.
Coach Tobin talked about plateaus. And what he meant by that is that this organization, the Arizona Cardinals, they've had a tough time getting over plateaus.
Green in the hurry up, and that one is dropped. Good coverage. Ball knocked away.
Williams.
Asher, the intended receiver, but Aeneas Williams got a hand in there.
Washington Redskins this half have not had a first down. That's pretty amazing. There's about 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the game, and in the half for that matter for them, and they haven't had a first down.
3rd and 5. Green, that's to Mitchell. Mitchell's been the man today in every aspect of the game. And what appears to be a losing cause, 2:28 to go for the Redskins, but boy, not because of Brian Mitchell, or for that matter, Trent Green has played well today.
He has played well, given the chance to succeed.
They didn't have the ball at all here in the second half for him to succeed. And that's on the target as well, and it's caught by Thrash.
Last year everybody said that the Washington Redskins, it was their defensive tackles. They couldn't make plays, and that's why their defense was so bad. And they went out and spent all that money. Well, this year, now it's the defensive end. I see these two guys right here. This is what you call a doghouse. And that's where those two guys are. And they're together, and there's a reason those two guys are together on the sideline.
82, Michael Westbrook. Number 12, Gus Barat. First down. Green finds an open man. Mitchell out of the backfield. Mitchell gets to the 35-yard line of the Cardinals. 150 and counting down. Green gets a timeout. 14-yard pickup. And Tillman came out of his shoe. That's not quite as good as, was it Norman Hand who ran out of his helmet in a game we did earlier this season?
No, that wasn't Norman. That was where was that? Was in Chicago. Yeah, that's right. We were in Chicago. Defensive tackle was
ran right out of his helmet.
Yeah.
Actually, he took it off. Yeah. So Tillman stepped out of that one, that gritty young rookie safety. And this young
interesting guy
playing so well.
Interesting guy. You know all that big stuff talking about him. He came to camp on a bicycle. And well, that got him a car. Now he's driving a dealer's car. And you know what? He's interested in the fact that he said, hey, I'm not as good a safety as Kwame Lassiter is. Kwame is a much better safety than I am right now. But he accepts that role. He knows where he's at, and he's a guy that just wants to keep trying to continue to get better.
Green trying to get it to Mitchell. Mitchell has just done everything today for the Washington Redskins, catching, returning, carrying the ball, made a special teams tackle.
Well, look, that's the second half for the Redskins.
Yeah, you can't win games like that. There's no way that you can win games getting 3 first downs, 2 rushing yards.
Well, actually, too, they haven't had the opportunity to get on the field. Because really, if you think about it, Arizona's had the ball most of the second half with long drives.
Yep. Kept the ball out of Green's hands entirely. Green gets some time. He's got a man open. That's a touchdown. That is Shepard, Leslie Shepard. And Green connecting with Shepard wide open. 35 yards for the score. 1:39 to go. Redskins will make it exciting for the last 1:39 with Green connecting with Leslie Shepard.
Now, and you can see Bennett's feet just sitting there, and you can see him just waiting instead of getting deep, keeping everything in front. Bennett, sit down there, and you can't do that.
Ronnie, I never understood in these circumstances under 2 minutes why a safety would be up.
First catch of the game for Shepard. Gary Blanchard's point after is good.
How do you let anything get behind you when you're under 2 minutes?
Yeah, I don't.
And it happens. You see it all the time.
All the time you see it. And the reason you see it, Bill, because what happens, the defensive back is looking. He's viewing the quarterback. He's right now, as I'm looking at the quarterback, there's two things that I could do. Either I let my feet stop or I keep going back as I'm looking at the quarterback. And that's really the problem there. Let's watch his feet. Let's watch his body movement there. When you're looking at the quarterback, you can't do that. You can't wait. You got to stay deep.
He's peeking inside and looking in that kitchen again.
That kitchen will kill you, man.
This could be interesting right here.
How big is the safety now? It's a 2-point game all of a sudden. Here's a team that completely dominated. We just put up the stats. One big play here, a defensive error in the secondary of Arizona turns it around.
Well, if you lose by 2, as you see tonight on the Fox box there, we got the X-Files season premiere tonight. That's back up and ready to roll. But if you think about it, if you lose by 2, you go back and you look at special teams. You think about the safety that cost you the 2 points, and you also think about the touchdown run for Washington that was nullified by a stupid tackling play by the linebacker 58, Patrice Alexander. And the rookie, they just brought him up. It's the first time he's activated for the game, and that's how he contributes.
That was with Mitchell well out in front, way beyond that holding penalty on his 100-yard jaunt that was called back on the opening kickoff. Ryan Mitchell, absolutely brilliant day for the Redskins. 139. Try the onside kick. Ball is loose.
They got it.
And it looks like the Redskins have it.
It is.
Yes, they do. Washington ball at their 46-yard line. And it is Stephen Davis who comes up with it.
Excellent kick by Blanchard. Watch him. He hits the top of this thing. Now watch it bounce. It gets a bounce right here. Boom. And then goes high. That's what you try to do. Stephen Davis gets the ball.
And you had a lot of guys standing around. Look at the guys just standing around, Bill.
Then right here, boom, then it goes up. That's exactly what you want. That's a perfect kick. Pounds had a chance at it first.
Pounds,
Davis
yeah, he got his hands on it, and it was Davis who came up with it. And so suddenly Washington completely out of this game in the second half. 137, and they have the football at their own 46, down by 2. The margin, the safety when Matt Turk dropped the snap from his brother Dan. Incomplete pass intended for Thrash.
Okay, now you're coming down to this. You're talking about a chance to succeed. Thrashers drop passes. In the Seattle game, when they started Thrash again, and Connell again in front of Michael Westbrook, Thrash dropped the first 3 passes.
It's hard getting out that doghouse, man.
Especially when that leash is real short.
2nd and 10. Green under pressure. Good catch. And guess who? Brian Mitchell. Mitchell, 18 rushing yards, 40 receiving yards, not including that one, 32 punt return yards, and the kickoff one called back, still 138 yards on kickoff returns. Blanchard warming up on the sideline. The ball is right at midfield. Blanchard's long of the season, a 46-yarder.
Career long is 52.
And he did not kick well here in the warm-ups on the longer field goals. We were watching him during warm-ups, and he was unable to make anything from 50 or up in either direction.
Well, with 1:22 left, you play for first down as long as you can.
Field goal can win it, of course, the 2-point margin. And that margin we've said a couple of times from the safety, the misplay by punter Matt Turk.
Bill, Trent Green has been staying alive a lot, and they're playing some man-to-man here, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can bring him down because this guy's a big body.
Well, here's what they've got to do. They've got to find a way to contain that rush from the Cardinals.
Huge play here, 3rd down. Green, incomplete. Ball bounced around in the air with Cardinal jerseys around. That could have been very dangerous. Jameer Miller, the linebacker, all over Thrash.
Yeah, you're trying to find an opening. You're trying to buy some time. And Thrash again. You got to catch that.
That's 2.
Miller and Knight had the coverage. Tom Knight, 4th down.
They've got to get the ball to the 30-yard line.
1:17 on the clock. Three wide receivers. Mitchell in the backfield.
Here comes Simeon.
Green, nice move. He finds Mitchell. First down to the 40-yard line. 108. Ball spotted just outside the 40 of Arizona. Under a minute we go. Green, sideline, out of bounds. That stops the clock with 49 seconds remaining.
You talk about guys working. Watch these two guys going at it. Simeon Rice inside. Badger turns around, and he's back outside. These two guys are battling for what it really is going to come down to. Simeon's been getting the better of it all day, but hey, when it's time, it's on the line, you've got to find a way to survive. Badger's out there battling for it all.
The young Arizona defensive line, a rookie, a third-year man, a second-year man, a first-year man. Eric Swan out of action, of course, the only veteran on that lineup, out with a knee injury. Green connects with Mitchell. Mitchell gets out of bounds down to the 36-yard line.
Trent Green plays some good football. In the quarterback position, he's been taking hits this game. He's been under pressure. He's making the right decisions. He's finding the open guy. That's twice now he stopped the clock by getting the ball to Mitchell outside the flat so he could step out of bounds.
Third down. Long 5. The ball at the 36-yard line of Arizona. 43 seconds on the clock.
Here they come.
Green, incomplete. Thrash, tight coverage. Brown, J.B. Brown.
Now you got to make a decision. You're going to go for it here to try to get the first down, or you kick a field goal. Blanchard wants to kick. He's telling, and on they come.
41 seconds left. About a 54-yarder, depending on the spot. For Kerry Blanchard, and as we said, they did not have much success in the warm-ups. Of course, that doesn't mean a whole lot. This is when it counts now. Long of the year, a 46-yarder. Turk the holder. He's got the leg. He's got it.
Good.
36 seconds on the clock, and the Washington Redskins back in the lead. 54 yards for Kerry Blanchard, his longest of the year, and the Redskins have risen from the dead here in the second half. They led 17-7 at halftime. They did absolutely nothing through the third quarter and well into the fourth. And Kerry Blanchard finds himself with an opportunity to be the hero. 10 points in a minute and 4 seconds with the touchdown pass, the 35-yarder from Trent Green to Leslie Shepard, and this field goal for Kerry Blanchard.
Head down, plant foot, follow through. Perfect.
And Trent Green made it happen. Poised, went to the guys on the outside, worked the clock, never panicked.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing if you look at the statistics in the second half, how Washington could be on top right now.
Green now 17 of 33, 183 yards and a touchdown. And he had to sit and watch most of the second half as the Cardinals just used up the clock with long drives, taking time off the clock and taking the lead in the ball game in the process. When Green has been on the field, he's been very effective. 98 yards in this quarter. Blanchard will kick it off. 35 seconds. All that remains for the Cardinals, who appeared in control of this game. It is a touchback. They'll start from the 20-yard line with 35 seconds remaining.
You don't know how big that play was, but if it had not hit that
the
post,
pylon, if it would have gone out of bounds, they would have got the ball at the 35-yard line. But the pylon is ruled, that's part of the end zone. So when it hits the inside right there, that didn't play. That's a touchback. It comes out to the 20. That's 15 yards in a matter of inches right there.
That's right.
Metcalf making sure he didn't touch it. Good experienced returner. The other saw going into the end zone, so they start from the 20. Now what can Jake Plummer do in 35 seconds? Out the right side to Larry Centers. Gets out of bounds immediately. 28 seconds left. "35-yard line."
That's where the ball would have been spotted had it not hit the pylon on the kickoff.
The Bull Fox lineup of programming follows the conclusion of this game, and it's turned into a thriller. Metcalf to the 45.
Timeout.
Pin him down, but the Cardinals take timeout. 22 seconds left. Remember, Joe Nedney kicked a 53-yarder last week to beat Detroit. 11-yard gain up to the 45-yard line, and an Arizona first down. Jake Plummer has now hit 14 consecutive passes.
Well, with 22 seconds, that's roughly enough time to run 3 plays and still have a second or 2 left on the clock for a timeout.
And you need 20 yards.
For a field goal.
20 yards, Bill. I think that they got it in them. I think they got it in them. It's going to be interesting to see what Jake Plummer does with the ball. Will he work the inside of the field, or is he going to work the outside?
Plummer with 14 consecutive passes.
3 wide receivers set.
1 timeout remaining for the Cardinals, 1 for the Redskins. Shotgun formation for Plummer. Redskins come with a blitz. Plummer, deep sideline. It's caught. Nice catch by Sanders. Out of bounds.
Great job by Plummer. Stood in there, saw the blitz, waited, and bought Sanders time.
Excellent read.
16 seconds left. What a pass. Perfect catch. Good job all around. Plummer to Sanders. 18 yards. Gets it down to the 36-yard line of Washington.
He remembered from the last time Frank thought he was in. That time he made sure he drug his right foot along the sideline to keep it in bounds.
15 in a row for Plummer. Too high for Sanders. 13 seconds left.
Right now, they would be kicking roughly a 54-yard field goal. Last week, Nedney won it with a 53-yarder. And right now, they're at right, it'd be about 54 yards.
Why not a quarterback draw?
Like we did last time. That's what I was thinking. And I've been looking for it. Last time they did that, they spread them out. They're not wide enough now.
No, they're not. They've got 2 running backs in position here.
They want to bunch them up to get the ball to the outside.
Sanders, did he hang on? Yes. Sanders bobbled and grabbed and held on. They're making Metcalf.
Last time out, here comes Nedney.
Eric Metcalf made a big catch there, and then he comes on the field.
And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, number 16, I've been in this situation with Joe, and he could do the same thing. And it was interesting to see that and see just the poise that he had. 16
consecutive passes for Plummer. It's up to Nedney.
About a 48-yard field goal. For the second week in a row, he has the opportunity to kick a game-winning field goal.
Last week in this position, his coach asked him. His answer was, you know, I've got the distance. And Vince Tobin said, that's not what I'm looking for in an answer. And Nedney assured him, I can make it, coach. Let me have a whack at it. And here he is again.
Washington's going to take a timeout now. Let him think about it. You know, it's interesting. You talk about Vince Tobin and his regime. Last year in '97, he lost 6 of 9 games in the final minute. And a lot of his games and his philosophy and his teams right now seem to be coming down to the last minute. You can see the union on the sideline. The guys holding hands all along here.
Yeah, that's the defensive squad right there, including Eric Swan, out of uniform with that knee injury, gone for another month at least. Nedney.
Nedney by himself. Look at the kicker by himself. That's what a kicker's world is. You know, you talk about you don't do anything in practice, you don't do anything all week long, and then now it all comes down to this. You're either hero or GOAT. It's that simple.
Scott Blair, the punter, will hold. And it's good.
And he's a hero.
He's a hero.
For the second week in a row.
Joe Nedney. 47 yards officially. 2 seconds on the clock. And the Redskins, who came back like Lazarus from the dead to go ahead, have lost it here to Joe Nedney's 47-yard field goal after 16 consecutive passes by Jake Plummer. Lit it up here in this second half. And 2 seconds on the clock. The Washington Redskins will have that last opportunity with 2 seconds to go. Nedney, as Norv Turner looks on and says, what are you going to do? My guy got one, their guy got one, 2 seconds left.
And you know, it's funny, when Norv kicked his, he didn't get excited. He didn't get excited because he knew that it was enough time for Plummer to come back.
You know, they still have to kick off here. And remember the opening kickoff, Ryan Mitchell took it back.
Well, it'll be all about special teams on 2 plays in a row. The field goal by Nedney, and now the kickoff team trying to keep Washington out of the end zone. Ryan Mitchell, who's just been brilliant for the Redskins, took the opening one back all the way, a holding call, brought it back to the 49-yard line of Washington. He is back there with Thrash. And they take a low swift kick. It's pitched back and dropped. The ball is loose, picked up by the Cardinals. Brock. And that'll be it. Brock out of bounds, and this game is over. The Arizona Cardinals added a dimension of excitement they could easily have done without for their fans after beating up on Washington in the second half, coming from a 10-point deficit at halftime, going ahead, falling behind on the field goal by Blanchard, and then Nedney, 47 yards, kicks the field goal to give them the victory, and they move to 5-4. We'll be back in a moment. Pepper play of the game. It could have been Kerry Blanchard, but it turned out to be Joe Nedney. For the second week in a row, he connects with a winning field goal for the Arizona Cardinals from 47 yards out. He gives them a victory and a 5-4 mark. They break over the 500 mark. Nedney hits it perfectly, 47 yards away, and the Arizona Cardinals win a thriller. And what that does is move them into second place behind Dallas with a winning record now 5-4, and they will meet each other next week right here on Fox.
And that'll be a big game. And we saw a little bit of that Plummer magic that we talked about. Now, their offense still has problems. They have things they have to work on, but the magic came out of Plummer.
And they're going to need a lot of that. They're going to need a lot of magic to beat Dallas.
Well, for Ronnie Lott and Bill Maas, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Arizona. The final score, the Cardinals 29, Washington 27. Be sure to stick around for Fox's Sunday night primetime lineup coming next, starting with the world's funniest. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League, home of Super Bowl 33.